Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, level 60 of the Level Unlock podcast, episode 60. I like level 60, it works all the same. So, anyways, welcome everybody.
Welcome to the quarantine cast.
Exactly, welcome to the quarantine cast. The only thing that's not closed is this podcast to you. Coming at you every Sunday to all 1,567 followers on Podbean.
Jesus.
Absolutely phenomenal. Claps all around. As well as to our 1,113 downloads. We're fucking booming. Still #1 leisure podcast in the world and on Podbean. So thank you all for that. It's much appreciated. If you go to the app, we're not #1 on the app for some reason, but if you go to the actual website, we are. So for anyone who wants to try to call us out on it, screw you, because we are #1. So thank you all for that, as well as thank you to our very first Patreon follower.
Very first patron.
With your amazing message. Godfrey Ryan, I appreciate you for helping the podcast, listening to us every single week. His message as followed.
Hey, you read the message?
No, I am. I'm just thanking him for being our first Patreon. Hey, your podcast has been such a joy to listen to. I've listened to a multitude of other gaming podcasts, but yours is by far my favorite. And it's because you all seem to be like me, a bunch of foul-mouthed nerds. I am
damn right. Fuck.
Yeah. I'm currently.
Frick, my mom listens to this, guys. We need to clean it up.
I'm currently going through a divorce. God have mercy on that bitch, LOL. And listening to you guys keeps my mind off the stressful things in life as well as while I work. For that, I am very grateful. Even though my pledge isn't a lot, I hope it shows a little bit of my appreciation to you all. What's some of your favorite hidden gems when it comes to games? That was a question for all of us we can answer afterwards.
Fuck.
I am also looking into getting into PC gaming on PC, but don't have a lot of money. Where or what should I do, and where would I begin with that? And by the way, I don't know if you have ever listened to the podcast show, but my homeboy who reviewed Birds of Prey a couple of shows back, his mic connection cuts in and out a little bit. Talking about you, Nate. It's not bad, but he can lose 1 second of dialogue when it happens. So that's just a quick heads up there. Again, thank you all for what you do. I hope to connect with all of you on some platform in the near future. But until then, just know that I am listening to you every week. Thank you, your first Patreon. Oh, thank you, sir.
That's awesome.
Very much. So that is phenomenal. I don't know if you know him, Nate. You're talking. You're not going through.
It's literally cutting out.
Nope, still not talking. Nope, nothing. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but
who is that? Who is that?
What?
What's the guy's name?
Godfrey Ryan.
Jeffrey Ryan? Jeffrey?
Jeffrey. Godfrey.
Godfrey?
Yeah.
That should be
Gilbert
fucking
Godfrey?
better.
There you go.
Hey, yeah, thank you. Much love.
No, yeah, I
Much
actually
love,
don't
Mr. Ryan.
know. I don't think I know, but yeah, appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, no,
Super great to hear.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
hell
I
yeah.
appreciate you
Maybe
very,
you're part
very,
of-
very much.
Probably like a tear to my eye a little bit there.
Yeah. We appreciate you hanging out. We appreciate you listening to all the episodes. And that is much appreciated. Thank you very much for that. But I wanted to lay that out, which is huge. So thank you very much. As also we have another announcement. We have our winner for our $50 gaming gift card giveaway.
Triple G here.
Yeah, so it goes to our good friend Benji. You can find him on Twitter at Benji_physics. Check your email, Benji, if you're watching, listening, anything like that. I'll be sending you an email within probably sometime tonight after the podcast. Message me back and we can figure out the gift card to you.
The
Go from there.
deets.
Thank you for thank you for following us. Thank you for listening, and I'm much appreciated. We are looking forward to doing this more into the future. To have all of our participants, everyone who listens, it's our way of thanking you. So, as well as going back really quick for anyone who does want to participate, as well as support the channel, you can at patreon.com/levelunlockpodcast and follow all of our social medias, Level Unlocked podcast, as well as Twitter. Any takers who wants to announce our Twitter and go?
Well, it's mine, so that's
Go,
usually my
James.
shtick.
It is.
So I just
Well,
had
the
to
second one is. I'm just making sure.
I had to skip it for 2 weeks because I couldn't speak.
That is true. What's our Twitter?
LVL Unlocked Pod. That's LVL Unlocked
Our participants, everyone who listens. It's our way of thanking you. So
Had to take away the pop filter.
Oh yeah, no, I had to make it crusty, extra crust. I like my pizza with extra crust.
Nice pods.
Pods. Pods.
Oh,
What the fuck are you doing?
I'll fix it later.
What is this joke?
Fucking cabin fever week 2 for me.
I feel like we're on a real show.
We don't fix
We
shit
are.
in post, alright?
I feel like we're a real program.
Oh my god.
And what-
We are.
Yeah, this is. Oh, how long has it been? A few days. I'm already at my breaking point.
Yes.
Day 2 of 900 in quarantine because of David.
Fucking Dave.
Damn you.
For those that don't know, David is our hyper-adult term for
The,
Shit.
the disease.
that thing.
Yeah, so
The
we
thing
do
that's going on.
Yeah.
if we refer to Dave.
If you mention it,
That's what it is.
various social medias will restrict your reach.
Yep.
It's a good time.
Which doesn't, I don't understand, but hey, it is what it is.
We talked about it last time. It
Yeah, we
makes
did.
sense at the end.
Thank you for hanging out with us for the Level Unlock podcast. It's been a
Always.
wonderful day. You guys are
All right.
I'm glad we get to do this show every week.
Oh, me too.
Me too.
And little things like that, from our man, Mr. Ryan there, everything like that. All the little things when you hear that stuff is much appreciative. So, let's get into some weeks. I don't know, James, with your week, I don't know if you want to save 2 of your pieces to the gaming side or just talking about it during your week. That's up to you.
No, we're
But,
going full in. This is gonna be sit down for like a goddamn hour, folks, because I've done.
There you
a
go.
lot.
Well, let's start with the shorter side of things. Nathaniel, how about yourself?
Well, all I have done this week is I beat. Wait, did I do that last week? I think I beat Mortal Kombat last week.
Did you?
Maybe that was this week. Oh no, okay. So I
Just a
beat.
riveting story?
Okay. So as far as Mortal Kombat can go, I actually really liked the story with this
Oh,
one.
yeah?
MK11's story was genuinely solid.
How does it compare to Twisted Metal?
Oh shit.
Which Twisted Metal? Original Twisted Metal?
Yeah.
The good one. The
I
only
mean-
good one. Well,
I'd say
I don't
that
even
Twisted
remember
Metal
which
2
one.
wasn't terrible.
Twisted Metal 2 is really good.
Yeah.
But the story comparatively, I mean, I don't really recall too much of a story in Twisted Metal. You were just a call.
Each character had their own story.
Yeah, they had they had fucking lore you had to dig into.
Yeah. Does it play out like that? Does each character have their own backstory, or is it one ultimate story?
Well, you would have to have played 1 through 11 for each character's backstory per se.
Well, no, because 9 was the reboot. 9 was a reboot of the franchise.
I never played 9.
MK9's really good.
Okay. But yeah, it's solid for sure. Other than that, I've been playing a lot of Rainbow Six Siege with our good buddy Aim Right. Game's a lot of fucking fun. Oh, today I fell victim as what I mean by that is I allowed myself to get angry at a bunch of toxic fucking troll kids on Rainbow Six, and I started doing real shit. Mind you, today I've been getting at least 4 to 5 kills every single match. I was doing fantastic, and these kids just start pissing me off. They're just really start. They're just okay. Well, this one lady, I'm not going to say anything she said because I would instantly get us flagged. But she was just screaming all sorts of like profanities and obscenities, fucking all sorts of racisms, and I was like, what? And then she started telling me I sounded like I smoked cigarettes for 80 years and I was fat and had lung cancer. And the fat part doesn't bother me because whatever, they're troll kids. But I'm just like, I don't think my voice sounds like that, but I also don't know how my voice sounds to other people. And
if anything, I'm the one that sounds like I've been smoking for 80 years.
like but no, I kept it was just fucking all I can imagine is I'm a gamer girl kind of person, and she just really pissed me off. And AIM was like, bro, you're being trollable right now. You need to just don't let it affect you.
That guy, bro.
Yeah.
I let it get under my skin a little bit. I was starting to get pissed off.
See, this is what you do, Nate. Here's a word of advice. Whenever you play any kind of competitive, even like moderately competitive shooter.
Real quick, is this advice for just him or is this advice for the world?
I mean, I guess it's advice for the world, but at least as of right now, it's just for Nate. You make sure to turn that game chat off. You turn that shit off. That is rule number 1.
I agree with you, but the problem is with Siege is I have to hear if someone's making a call out.
Oh, here's the thing there, Chief. I played Siege this week as well. I had no fucking problems playing it with turn that shit off mode.
Did you play on PC or PlayStation?
PS4.
Okay. Should definitely get it. You have like another week until it's off of being only $8.
I don't have the space.
That's fair.
Is that game?
Like
70
80
gigs. 75. 85. Whatever. Anyway. But yeah, just done got me. I did the angers. Other than that, what else have I been doing? Played more Smash with the boys like usual. That seems to be like at least a minimum weekly thing. We played Jackbox too. That was a fucking experience.
Jackbox.
Yeah.
Jackbox.
For those that don't know, Jackbox is a game. If one person has it, that's all you need is one person to have it.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as one person has it, you pull out your phone. You can play on your phone. You can play on your computer. But you get a bunch of people, and you got all the screens, and it's. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jackbox. James, you're super good at explaining things. What is Jackbox?
Party
Me or Nate?
They're party games.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a party game. You get things that show up on your phone. Tap those things on the phone that correspond with what's on the screen. Boom.
For all the kids of like the 25-year-old and younger era, if you played this game in school, you'll probably get the concept fairly quickly. It's basically Kahoot in an aspect. It's that kind of concept though.
See, I didn't know of Kahoot until I started working at Best Buy.
Really? We used that.
Kahoot wasn't a thing back in high school for me.
They did that in high school and in
I remember
college
Kahoot.
for me.
Kahoot wasn't a thing when I was in high school.
Okay, well, everyone that's like 22 or younger, I suppose.
There we go.
Because Kahoot, basically, one person has the program, and then you just enter the room code and you get in. It's a lot
It
of
was
fun.
catchphrase back in my day.
I played
But,
You Don't Know Jack. It's just like
You don't
that.
know, Jack. Fair enough.
That's a part of the Jackbox party pack, actually.
Oh,
No
nice.
PS1 days.
Fucking other than that, I really can't think of much else I did besides go to work one day, and that was an experience. I've never seen Best Buy that dead. It was quite literally a ghost town. Like there was not a single person there. It was weird. Like we had one person every, I don't know, maybe a total of like 3 people per hour. And like
Dang.
they would go in and grab what they wanted and leave. Except one group of people.
That's what Dave would do.
When was this?
Thursday.
Thursday? I wonder how the curbside stuff is going.
It's not here.
Mm-mm.
It's here.
We're not doing it.
Really?
Yeah, for the
Yeah,
Best
we're
Buys that are
closed.
still opened are doing that, but like
Mhm.
states, California, New York, Chicago, not Chicago, Illinois and Pennsylvania, their Best Buys are closed.
The good old state of Chicago. Mm.
Would you think about it? What else is in Illinois other than Chicago? So
I'm trying to think, but I can't.
exactly.
They probably have great things that we just can't.
Yeah. Love you, Illinois. Appreciate you.
Yeah, anyone who listens. Oh, actually, well, if any of my friends that are watching, I know y'all are from Illinois, so I love all y'all.
Yeah, there's those people that I know. Yeah, y'all know. Illinois is pretty dope, yo.
I have my buddy Reptilian Hybrid. I have my buddy Slink. I have a bunch of friends from PlayStation that I met online. That all live in
Those aren't
Illinois.
real names.
Okay, sorry. My friends Corey, Anthony, Joe. I'm sorry. Those are all actual names. They're not just fucking rip-off names. Like they're actual names. But yeah. Other than that, Call of Duty as per usual. At least I play that like once or twice a week with on Warzone now. Yeah, my week's been pretty short. I can't. Oh, I watched JoJo. So that's something. Me and James actually recorded Anime Corner. Yeah, it's back. Right before this, I say probably, I don't know, 3 hours ago.
Something
That was
like
a lot of fun.
Ruin it
But
for us.
well, okay, well I just watched JoJo. Moving on.
You can give us a
But
That's good.
Listen, I'm proud of him. I'm excited for him.
Yeah?
He's enjoying something that I've been yelling at people for years to watch. Now he just needs to really play Yakuza, that fuck.
I played like 40 minutes of Yakuza 4.
Yeah, play Yakuza.
I literally
fuck.
scratched the surface. But other than that, what's up? Oh yeah, there's a ton. Like from the 40 minutes I've played, I literally maybe completed a mission and a half.
That's all.
But other than that, I've just been doing a lot of like tech, like diving into like all this pixel stuff, but that'll come later in the tech news. And boy howdy, Google, you fucked the Stadia, and you might fuck your entire phone division. But we'll talk about that later. That's all I got.
Nice. Mark.
Nothing too crazy with me. If you want to watch me make mediocre content, you can do that at MarkDude701 on Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, I've been playing Rocket League, some Smash.
Oh yeah.
Animal Crossing came out. Been playing that a bunch. I don't want
The
to
best time it could come out.
I feel that James is going to have a big exposition on his Animal Crossing experience, and I don't want to bore you. Did that. I've been playing Rainbow Six a little bit with the guys here. I'm not a huge fan of first-person shooters, so I really only play them whenever I have a group of people, and I kind of have to be in the mood for them too. So yeah, don't play them too often, but I enjoy them from time to time. Beyond that, my personal life, I guess, I've been working with one of my clients on a website way too often. She emails me at like every time of the day. I've probably complained about this before, but it's just a lot of work. Like, I'm staying busy with that. Yeah, beyond that, I'm just trying to stay safe.
It's always good to be safe.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, really quick, not to cut everybody off. I got some crazy breaking news.
What?
The second Patreon.
2 minutes ago, we just got our second Patreon.
Hey!
Morgan Taylor. Morgan Taylor.
Thanks, Morgan. That's what's up.
Much love.
Yes.
Appreciate it, Morgan.
So thank you very, 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 very much for that.
Appreciate it.
So
That's
awesome. Yeah, second Patreon. That is huge. Thank you very much for that. I refreshed the page, and it went from 1 to 2, and I was like, "What?"
So that's why you went
So,
like that. That's why you did Kermit.
Yeah.
Kermit the Frog.
It's Kermit the Frog here.
Not-
What's going on?
Oh,
Shit.
But still,
oh, I'm sorry. I'm so-
We just
Yeah.
had to fangirl real quick.
Yeah.
What's going on with you, Schroeder, this week?
This week? Oh,
There we go.
So many things, my friends. Well, I played a little bit of Rocket League with you guys. That was pretty fun.
Mhm.
A little bit of arc, not a ton. I fixed a couple things on it, and then an update went through and broke a couple things. So, yay! We did get the server clustered all together, which is really awesome. So now we can jump in between the two maps whenever we want. Let's see what else has been going on. I'm packing. I'm getting ready to move. I am so close to it's gonna be only a couple days, I think, and then I'm out of here. Hopefully I get there before anything else crazy happens, as far as like the state closing or anything. I don't know. I don't think it will. I think things are.
I don't think it will.
Up. Yeah, things are moving in the right direction. I mean, other than that, just hunkering down as well. I really don't have anywhere to go or nothing to do other than pack, so that's what I've been kind of doing.
Perfect time.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I was gonna do this about a month ago, or about a month from now, but no, this happened. Dave happened.
Dave.
So yeah. So that's all I've been really up to. I've been watching you guys play the Animal Crossing, because I love Animal Crossing. Honestly, that's my kind of game. You know?
Yeah,
So
it is definitely a Jeff game.
So I'm vicariously playing it through you guys. You know,
Oh.
It's been great. I've enjoyed the experience. It's been wonderful. I'm just packing. That's my kind of noise. So it's
You
been
hear me
good.
go, fuck yeah, I did it.
Yes. Oh, I'm loving watching James exploit the economy. Somebody's gonna come down. It's gonna be, what was that character's name from
Fucking Rossetti.
Mr. Rossetti.
No,
Rossetti, the mole guy.
No, but there is him. Kevin, the Kevinator from the League, or what is it called? The Guild. You guys ever see the show The Guild?
It's been a while.
Oh, it's on. For a while. It's on an old Xbox 360 hard drive I have somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good show with Kevin, because Mort begins to exploit the economy. in their
mean-
game. You just
I
wait,
mean-
Kevin, the Kevinator's gonna drop the hammer on you. It's gonna show up in the form of like.
If
an
they
angry
didn't,
taco, and he's gonna be like, I know what you've been doing. You've been going from island to island.
if they didn't want me to exploit the economy by doing my fruit drug runs,
And harvesting
they
all your
wouldn't have
weeds.
put it in the game. That's all
It
I'm
is a
saying.
bad influence.
Because
I
like
knew it.
somebody had to program to say that you make more money selling fruit on another island or selling
Yeah, and-
different fruit.
And they let
And
me
there's
buy
no
as much
limit.
fruit as I want.
All of it. Not as much
Yeah,
as you
40k
want.
worth. 40k worth of fruit done.
Yeah,
How deep are
Get
you
80k
60K
worth of
return.
fruit. That's fucking chump change, man. I'm
I
rolling in
heard
the
you
bells.
earlier. I'll have you know, as a child, all I had was pears, and sometimes we had to use those as a bed, sir. And you know what? It is comfortable. It's very comfortable. It smells great the first couple days, and then not so much. But I'll have you know. Yes, but other than that, Splash Screen Gaming on the YouTube and the Twitch, and then Team Splash Screen on Facebook is where I'm mainly active. But I've slowed up quite a bit because of the whole moving and getting everything ready. But don't worry, once we get settled in a new place, we get everything sorted out. Big bag. It's so easy to turn Gucci. That's
Yeah,
Sure.
I use it.
Alright, things will be Gucci. Things will be super Gucci.
They will be the Gooch.
The Gucciest of Gucci's.
Captain Gooch.
Captain Gooch,
Yes.
the best one.
Alright. I think we're on to James.
Walker, go.
I'll go first.
How was your week, Walker? Did you accomplish things? Did good stuff happen? Yes, good
I-
things happened. We got some Patreon subscribers, which is amazing.
We did. Sorry for
That's
calling
the
your
good
friend out.
happen.
Sorry for calling your friend out. I apologize about that. But thank you very much, though, regardless of doing that. Myself played a bunch of Ark. Built half built a castle. I'm almost finished.
Is this for
Moved
all
all
your
my-
wyverns?
Hmm?
All your dragons? Are you gonna
Yeah, really. Well, pretty much for everything. I built 2 sides, and then I'm building a center tower up.
Now, are you gonna
and-
make it so that people can still go through that area? As,
Yeah.
Like, use it as the bridge?
Yeah, it's still accessible. There's a huge door that faces the bridge, like a huge archway door that you can walk through. So it's still accessible from that. You can enter from the bridge, enter from the giant staircase. So there's a bunch. What else did I play? Jackbox. That's really much about it. I bought a.
Hell out of Arc lately, bro.
Oh, did you buy a new thing for your camping?
I did. It's just
Yes.
a water pack.
Yes.
It's camping chip
That's-
keeps leveling up, baby.
Walker, I'm going to be honest here. I'm actually excited every week. I'm like, what did Walker buy this week for his camping expedition?
Yeah, so I have a new water hydration reservoir. I have that. Next week, I gotta buy my flashlights, like more flashlights.
I need
So.
another water hydration reservoir.
So I got that. That's all. I'm kind of disappointed. It's the only thing I got this week, but it is what it is. And I watched Spencer. What the fuck is it? It's on Netflix. Spencer Confidential.
Yeah.
I think it's what Spencer Confidential.
Because I asked about it, I'm like, you never answered.
Oh, I fell asleep.
That good, huh?
Yeah. No, I didn't fall asleep. I fell asleep after. It's
Hey, I'll be right back.
It's a new Mark Wahlberg movie where he's a cop from Boston. It's like the typical Mark Wahlberg movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, so he's just playing Mark Wahlberg?
Pretty much. Essentially, Boston Police Department is full of corrupt police officers, and he is trying to take them down, but asks too many questions, so he gets framed and arrested. And
So
then
this is not a documentary, but based on true events that happened in like 1940s Boston, is what you're saying.
Yeah, kind of. And then he gets out of jail, plans to move on with his life. The guy that he had questioned gets murdered, and Mark Wahlberg, who just got out of jail, gets blamed for it, even though he had nothing to do with it, which then puts Mark Wahlberg back in the game to then discover who did this, basically becoming like a vigilante and saving the day. Post Malone's in it.
Oh, Posty.
Yeah, he's a prisoner. Which actually, it's like the perfect role for Post Malone
Probably
with all the
fucking
face
love it.
tattoos.
Yeah.
It was literally the perfect role for him. But it's a good movie, good action movie, and it's got from Black Panther the king of the other tribe, like the really
Michael
big.
B. Jordan? No.
No. The guy that was basically put into like the mountains where he had to stay in the mountains.
Oh, yeah, him.
He's in it, and there's a fucking scene. So when he's in jail, he basically is reading books how to become a truck driver. So during this whole thing, he's going to truck driver school, and whoever is the top of the class gets this semi truck that's called the Black Betty, and
Oh,
it's
Black
a
Betty.
huge black semi truck. And at the end scene, when he's going up against this whole entire like mafia, they were like, "Well, where is he?" And all of a sudden, you hear, "Brr, brr," and the fucking semi truck just comes fucking roaring in, and just annihilates all these cars and people. And the dude and Mark Wahlberg are like, you could tell that they were driving it in the actual scene because they just had the fucking biggest smiles on their face. Like, yeah! It was fucking hilarious.
But here's the thing. Here's the question. Does it play the song Black Betty while that's going on?
I don't know.
You know, whoa, Black Betty.
Yeah.
Lamp, whoa, Black Betty.
Good old
Amber
Ram
lamps.
Jam.
But yeah, you could tell that when they were filming that, they probably honestly couldn't stop laughing. The fact that they just got to ride this fucking huge ass semi full fucking throttle. And they're just sitting there like, yeah!
I mean, I would have
They're
the
having a good
dumbest
time.
grin on my face if that happened to me. Like if I was doing that.
So, yeah, last night was actually the first day I didn't play Ark. I logged in for 2 seconds and then I got back off. Well, Mark's power just went out.
No, he's still there. There we go.
Hey.
I think my Wi-Fi turned off or something. I don't know.
But yeah, that was pretty much all I've done. Nothing too special, nothing too fancy. Just working like normal, like there's no quarantine. God damn it.
Yeah, you are.
The struggles of working from home.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, oh, you work from home, just figure it out. God damn it, I want 2 weeks off.
Maybe more.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Who knows?
James, man, what's going on with you? I know you've been doing a lot,
Oh.
streaming every day.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to keep myself busy.
We're talking, Schroeder, no one can hear you.
You're right. And I've enjoyed every chance I've caught. It's been good.
Oh, thanks, Jeff.
You're a really good streamer. I don't know if you're aware of that. I don't know if enough people
Oh.
tell you that, but I think you do a pretty good job.
It's the narrating that he does with it.
Yeah, it's funny, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
You really need to keep
It's
it
the
up.
constant talking that you do. It
Just
keeps
need to
it.
work on your fucking branding.
Yeah.
You guys are fuck the branding. Who cares about branding?
I do.
You guys are gonna make me
That's what
cry.
I
You
do.
guys are gonna make me cry on stream, IRL.
No, it really is. It's the talking that you're consistently talking and communicating. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun
Their narration, especially fucking Dragon Ball Z, and like just the
Don't give it away too much. It's on YouTube, so people who haven't seen it,
Yep.
Yeah, you get a chance
they
to
can still experience it.
People I Hate Studios. Be
voices.
amazed. Astounded.
Yeah. But go ahead, man. How's your week? What have you been up to?
Yes, so I beat Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Kakarot, you got it?
Kakarot.
You finally beat the game. There it is.
Until the DLC.
See it? You see it?
DLC.
See that? Yeet.
Saying fuck the DLC.
Fuck the DLC. I'm never putting that shit in my system. Yeah, I put in my time. I paid my dues to society. I played that game. I beat it.
No, I
Just
thought,
waiting until you
I
can get
thought
back to
the game
GameStop.
itself was like the entire story. And how
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
So what is
Now
what
we're
is-
gonna.
I'll talk about the DLC later.
Yeah, we'll talk about this DLC later.
I'm like, what did they add to the story? Okay.
Kinda.
Different series.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it though.
Now, if they were to come out with a Dragon Ball, like OG Dragon Ball expansion, you know I'll be
Shit,
popping that
yeah.
shit back in. I will buy that just for. I will pop it back in for that. I hated that game. I hated it with every ounce of my being. I don't know if it's because I was playing it so much, or it's actually a bad game, or what. There were maybe 2 parts of the game that I actually enjoyed, and then immediately after that, it became an unbearable slog that I just cheesed the entire fucking time. Fun fact, if you guys ever play an RPG and you are severely underleveled, the best way to combat that is just buy as many healing items as possible. Just buy all the healing items, just tank everything, every single damage, nothing can beat you. You're fine.
Yeah, that's one thing I didn't get when like Gohan went to Super Saiyan 2. In the game, he's a lower level than fucking Cell. But in the TV show, he's like double his power.
Yeah, he's just dunking on him.
But in the
Oh.
game, he's weaker. They did
No,
that
it's
all the
make it-
time.
It's to make a challenge.
It's so
It's to
stupid.
make it a challenge.
Yeah, I get that,
Uh,
but at the same time, they should have kept
I
it.
hate it. I fucking hate it.
Fucking hate it.
Fucking hate it. It became excruciatingly monotonous after a while. Especially once I hit like the 10-15 hour mark where it's doing the exact same thing over and over again. Oh, hey, collect these things. Beat up this guy so you can collect this thing. Go back over here to talk to this thing. Do this thing and then beat up this guy and do that guy. You know, it just got so boring so quick. I was honestly shook by how many positive reviews that game got. Because I don't know if you guys were in my stream, but I was like, this game couldn't have done good. And I'm looking on Metacritic and I'm seeing like 90 out of 100, 80 out of 100, 80 out of 100, 80 out of 100, 80 out of 100. And I go, were these guys playing a different game? Were they not playing the same game that I was playing? Because this is a solid 3 out of 10. 3 or 4 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So
9.5 out of 10.
if you were like a hardcore Dragon Ball fan, you would probably rate it much higher.
I
Okay,
am a
that's
hardcore
no.
Dragon Ball fan.
Dragon Ball Z fan and Dragon Ball.
I am a hardcore Dragon Ball Z fan.
Are you?
Yeah.
I thought you
That's
didn't
why
like Dragon Ball that much.
No, because
Dragon Ball
it's
Super.
trash.
Fair enough.
But you know what? I know all about Dragon Ball and Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. I've read the mangas. I've watched the anime. I played all of the games. I would consider
Okay.
myself a fan of Dragon Ball Z. I would consider myself an expert, if you will.
On the subject, as a matter.
Yeah. It's not good.
I'll
I've
have
seen
you
all the
know.
fucking movies. I watch BoJack, motherfucker.
I seen
That's
Super Saiyan
dedication.
Blue, whichever one that one was in the storyline. That
That's
was a good
super.
one.
That's super.
Yeah, that was a good one. Super Saiyan Blue. Everybody in the theater was yelling Super Saiyan Blue.
Oh, that's Resurrection F.
Yeah, with Frieza. Yeah. Freezer.
Where is it?
That was a movie that
I went
existed.
and seen that one because I actually did. I remember as a child, as a youth, I did watch that one.
Right? Own that.
Around the radio we sat.
Yeah. Oh no, this is Battle of the Gods. Sorry. Yeah. So I
Good,
beat that.
good,
I don't
good.
want to talk. I don't want to talk about it anymore because I'm gonna be going on a long tangent as it is.
Top 5
Um,
games of all time. What?
Yeah, what was that question he asked?
Most hidden,
Hidden gems.
best hidden
Hidden
gems.
Hidden gems. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. I told him.
Yeah.
I thanked him in a comment, and I told him I'll respond to his message with another message later.
Okay.
I played Rainbow Six Siege. Me and my buddy Max played it. He messaged me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm on vacation, so I'm playing some Siege." And I'm like, "Siege? Like Rainbow Six?" And he goes, "Yeah, I got it on PS4. A bunch of my buddies from back home have it, and you know, I bought it to play with them." I'm like, "Shit, I've been looking at this game for.
Where's
I've
that
been
huge
looking at
bug?
this. I was looking at this game for like 3.5 years, and I haven't even touched it." And he goes, "Oh, let's play." So I play. It's not bad. I enjoy it. I'm bad at it, but I enjoy it.
Hi.
I have a total of 4 characters.
Hell yeah.
Two on the operative, 2 on the good side, 2 on the bad side.
So 2 on defender, 2 on attacker.
Yeah. So that's good enough for me. I don't need any more. So it's fun. I thoroughly enjoy it. Not a whole lot to talk about because I only play maybe like 5 games. Playing Smash. Smash is great. Still loving it. Terry Bogard is my boy. All right, let's talk. Let's wrap here for a bit about Animal Crossing.
Oh boy.
Just kidding.
Real quick.
You need a drink?
All right.
Take a sip of a beverage before you begin.
Yeah, let me just.
Wet your whistle, as they say.
Get situated.
Get
Does
that
he have the
fireball out.
fireball?
Oh my goodness
All right, here we
gracious!
go.
Last week I did. Oh, I did do that. I did do that over the
It
course
is
of the week.
fireball.
I
Isn't that
started
funny that we
playing-
both knew?
Yep.
started playing Rocket League, and then I started taking sips while I was playing it. And then by 6 a.m., I started at like 3, and by 6 a.m., I drank a whole 6-pack to myself, and I don't ever drink. So
I
was
can
like-
tell you thoroughly enjoy that,
I
James.
was
Oh, I love it.
pretty loaded.
Soul. All right.
Fireball's so bad.
It's a
I
bad
love
shit.
Yeah, I watched part of your stream and I got a notification at 3 o'clock in the morning. Schroeder went live. I was like, what the fuck?
One of the streams
6
is
a.m.
titled, "Why are you streaming at 6 in the morning?" It was a good
what?
show. I ended up doing.
I can't. I'm sad that I missed that.
That Scott
Starter,
Pilgrim moment. That's in the show, in the movie Scott Pilgrim, when Wallace comes home.
When
and
it ended and I
slams into the
cheered.
bed. He's like,
Yes.
"This is Joshua." I had one of those moments. It feels really good. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like Walker. Do you remember that one time I did the last
even get the
last
references.
Android stream?
Yeah, the random ass games and you were just fucking toasted.
I just got fucked.
And you were like, What am I playing right now?
Yeah,
Like, I can't even see. Things are blurry. I'm like, God.
yeah, I
The
got.
screen keeps doing this.
Yeah,
Keeps
no,
moving back and forth.
that whole stream was a blur to me. I don't remember a single goddamn thing from that stream. All I remember is saying, "Hey guys, I'm going to bed, bye," and then just closing.
Yeah, and all of
my
a sudden
laptop.
he just fucking cuts off. I'm like, oh, okay, good night.
And then the next day, this is back when you were an Erie Walker, and I go into
Yep.
work, and you come up to me and you're like, "So how you feeling?" And I go, "I'm feeling fantastic."
What?
Yeah, I needed like
Yeah.
2 days to recover when the other night.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I don't remember anything from last night, but I feel fine now.
Yeah.
Go, okay.
No, it's good.
I watched some Dragon Ball Super before coming into work. I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Oh man.
But Animal Crossing. That's gonna
Okay,
consume
no.
my life for a long time. It's going to
I feel like
consume
it
my
would.
life.
I knew it would.
Yeah, Jeff, I know exactly how you feel when it comes to Ark.
yeah.
I should not have bought in this game.
That's why I put,
it was a
that's why I
grave
put
mis-
Ark down on them years ago, because
It was a mistake. It was a grave mistake on my end. I have spent no less than, I would say, about 4 hours a day playing. Doing everything. Even after my stream I do the major stuff, and then afterwards I do, oh hey, let me collect some of this. Let me clean up my town a little bit more. Let me, because if it's always like, oh, I could just put one more thing down and I'm done. Oh, let me just water the plants real quick before I go to bed. Let me just do this. Let me just sell a little bit more. Let me catch a few more fish. And then I look at the clock, and I go, fuck, it's late. What's wrong with me? I have a problem.
yep. I know that is like, it's a real thing.
It is. And especially now that, like, you know, I'm playing with friends, it's so much easier to go over to, say, like, Mark's Town now than it was with, like, the GameCube one. Or even, like, the DS one. Or the 3DS one, I mean, that was easy. But I didn't play much of the 3DS one. But instead of, here, here's my memory card, go play in my town, it's, hey, let me just hop on over to your town real quick. Let me partake in that fruit smuggling biz, where I make just a bunch of money.
Fortune. You're making a fortune.
I make an
off of
absolute
pears. What is it you're
fortune
selling?
out of
What are you getting?
pears.
Okay. Oranges, I've seen.
Mark, what's your starting fruit? Peaches?
Yeah,
No,
peaches.
Oh, I thought you had oranges.
Pears
Okay.
and peaches. So what you do is you take you just buy
Bad
out.
influence.
You just buy a large amount,
So it starts.
as much as you can, of fruits from your island. Then you go to a friend's island who doesn't start off with that fruit, and you sell it. Sell it all. And then you use that profit to buy even more fruit from their island. And then you go back to your island, and you sell that fruit. And then you buy more fruit from your island and take it back. And now you're hooked. Now you're hooked.
Oh man.
And
Now
now
you're
you're
just
straight
swimming in
smuggling.
bells.
Yeah, before you know it, you're smuggling goods out of Nicaragua,
Yeah, exactly.
selling in the local playground. You're going
Yeah.
to hell, I'm telling you.
I'm partaking in the illegal fruit trade. And I don't think I can stop. The money's too good. I can't stop now.
Oh, hell no.
What am I going to do? Fish? And not get a lot of money for it? Catch tarantulas that spook me and can possibly knock me out
No.
for a
max
little
that.
bit of scratch? No.
To feed
I'm going to do
Timmy.
it I'm going to do it the easy way. The easy and efficient way
By
of
smuggling goods over the country, over the coast.
of spending 10 minutes of pressing the A button to get the goods. Because you can only buy 5 at a time. You can stack up to 10 sets of fruits in one slot. I have now 30 slots that I can stack. So that means I have to jam that A button a minimum
Hit this guy.
of 60 times. I have to press that buy button.
It's like
But-
grind, baby.
I have to go through a bunch of other flavor text first, before and after.
And then you talk shit on us for walking around with dinosaurs hitting rocks.
Exactly.
Here you are here getting fruit.
Exactly.
You're the king.
And I was wrong, and I apologize. I spent an entire stream building 3 houses,
That is
and
true.
all of the furniture needed.
was wood.
And you know what? I had the
So much
biggest
wood.
fucking shit-eating grin on my face the entire time.
Did
I
anybody-
was having a blast.
Did anybody say I would give you wood? I'll give you wood? Because you were asking for it so hard. I'm
No.
over here packing and cleaning, and he's like, oh, I just gotta find that wood.
Yeah, I just
I'm
need a
just
little bit
like,
more wood.
Oh, I'm going crazy over here. Somebody gotta say it. I'll give you that wood. I felt like Michael from The Office, and with a whole bunch of that's what she was saying.
She said.
Yeah, that's what she said.
and nobody would say it. I'm just like,
Like, God damn it.
Oh, what do I need to make? I need to make a simp wood table, a simp wood chair.
oh, let me go get that soft wood. Where can I find the
Yeah.
soft wood?
Where's the
Like-
soft wood? Where's the hardwood? I need some hardwood right now. Give me
No,
the
not that
hardwood.
softwood. I don't want the softwood.
I don't need the softwood. I already made everything for the softwood. I need the hardwood.
I have all the softwood I can take.
Oh. Oh, let me go
Oh,
over to
my
this other
heavens.
island. Let me use this Nook ticket.
Meanwhile,
Let me use this Nook ticket because I can't smack the rocks anymore to get more iron ingots or iron nuggets. So I have to go to another town, like another island,
so you have to build everything in this game?
pretty much, except for your house. You just have to pay
Just
for it.
join in. We're talking about Animal Crossing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was going to be like this. I was not prepared for this. It was as simple as people just moved in. I would weed for a little bit, maybe do a little fishing, call it a day. No. Now they added the Nook miles.
Oh man.
Oh, hey, you can get 200 Nook miles for catching 3 fish. Well, fuck. It's 200 Nook miles. I might as well.
Why not?
It's only 3 fish.
Never
I'm
mind
gonna
that
do
it's 4
anyway.
a.m. and I have to be at work at 7.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a constant thing. It's like there's always something. Oh, hey, this popped up. Oh,
I'm glad you're
plant
enjoying
5
it at least.
Oh no, I'm having a blast. I can see myself just putting in an unlimited amount of time. This is going to be the game that tops Tetris 99 as my most played game on the Switch.
That's
I think I probably have about 12 hours into it already.
How long have you had it?
When did it come out?
Friday.
Friday? 2 days. Almost 3 days.
How many hours?
About 12.
You
doing
call
about-
yourself a gamer.
So it's a quarter of your time over those 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Mark, you've been playing it. What do you think of it?
I like it a lot. Compared to the original games, I feel that it still follows the same kind of gameplay loop. So it still appeals to the people that have only played the GameCube version, or like really only remember the GameCube version. I played New Leaf a lot, but I honestly don't remember it that much, to be honest.
I remember Isabel, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I remember the things that they like added and changed, like Isabel, but that's pretty much it. Like, GameCube version was so close to my heart. And then they released this version, and I was like, well, they haven't made one for however many years. We'll try it out. And I don't regret it compared to other $60 games that I've paid for. So that's definitely a big thing going for it.
Fucking
I'd
Call
say.
of Duty.
Yeah,
Spent
like,
$60 for that shit.
yeah, I'm still waiting for the new Call of Duty game to be worth it. Like, if it was $45, no problem. 60.
It's a bit
Oh.
steep.
Yeah. Like, it's finally getting okay now because they released Warzone, but it's still not a great game.
Still rough.
Yeah, it is. So what about... Go ahead, James. Keep going.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you're done with that, tell us about Resident Evil.
All right, yeah. Resident Evil 3 remake. I played that today. I played the demo.
Did you like it?
It's really good.
And the graphics are stunning, actually. It looks great.
Yeah.
When it popped on, I was like, what am I looking at here?
It looks even better. So, last week I got a capture card. So, I plugged that in. And, you know, now I can get full 4K on my TV.
Okay.
And also on my stream. So, that's great. Man, Resident Evil 3 Remake is dark. Like, it's actually dark. Just like... It's super dark.
Well, I remember I seen you playing with the brightness on it.
Yeah. Because I look over at my screen, I'm like, fuck, I cannot see a thing on there. On my TV, it looks great. But I look over at my computer, I'm like, fuck.
Oh, yeah. A lot of times it does get, like, darkened out a little bit.
It's the compression, baby.
Is that what it is? Because it really does. It gets super dark in a lot. In some
I would assume it's the compression on, especially, like, the contrast.
Yeah, like when I'm streaming Ark or something, it'll look totally great, like fine on my screen, but I look over and it's like black.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Resident Evil 2 with Nemesis in it. Resident Evil 2 Remake was fantastic. All I really hope for with this one is that they just made it the exact same. And guess what? They made it basically the exact same. I can now dodge, though.
That's cool.
The dodging doesn't really work too well.
But you can do it nonetheless.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but I did a really rad thing when I was playing it, where I don't know what I did at the perfect time. A zombie went to grab me, and I went and aimed, and I must have aimed at the perfect time, and I did like a back roll, and then everything went into slow motion. And I look at that, I'm like, that's pretty cool. How do I do that?
What button did I just hit?
The enemies, it still invokes terror. Resident Evil 3 is good. I don't have the same connection that I have with Resident Evil 2 or 4. But I'm gonna pick it up on launch day, and I'm gonna play it. I'm going to enjoy it.
Good.
That's good to hear. I'm glad they didn't fuck it up.
Yeah. So that's $60 worth, and I get 2 games with it. I get the multiplayer game, Resident Evil Resistance, and I get the single player campaign, which is just Resident Evil 3.
Did you play the new? You played the new one, right? Resistance.
I played that when it was in closed alpha for the RE Ambassadors. Yeah.
Did you play? You played it today too, right?
The beta's closed.
He was gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, the beta's closed.
Okay.
Dude walked in and goes, "Pool's closed."
Psych. Good shit.
Really
What you got?
Trying to think of anything else that I played. Vanquished. I started playing that. That game's great. Played a bunch of shitty PlayStation 4 games that I bought for like $1 that sucked. And I've been just sitting at home doing nothing other than that. I've watched all of YouTube. I've completed YouTube.
There's nothing left to
video.
watch.
Yeah, I have 100%ed YouTube. No OOB. No major skips. 100% of that shit.
I'm proud of you. Good job, man. I knew you could do it.
And if you want to watch me play more Animal Crossing, go to twitch.tv/People8Studios. If you want to watch me and my buddy just goof around in Final Fantasy VII and get Yuffie, who we named the 6th member, because she's just the 6th person that we're never going to use. Go over to youtube.com/People8Studios. And if you want to see what I'm doing with my life, I repost a lot of Animal Crossing memes right now. So go to Twitter @PeopleIHate10. There we go.
All right. Well, let's get into some news, folks. Really short week on the movie side of it. So start with that. Box office. There isn't any box office results. That's how little the box office did this week. It is not producing any numbers.
None.
That's probably like the first time ever.
It is. So I decided to look into it. Okay, what's going on here? So Wednesday, March 18th. Guess how much money the box office did? And despite realize from Tuesday to Wednesday, every movie theater except for Cinemark closed in the world. Any guesses?
100,000.
Okay.
75,000.
Anybody else? Guesses how much the box office did Wednesday, the 18th?
$2.
50.
Okay. So Wednesday,
$2.50.
March 18th, the box office did $246,000 total, down 88% year over year. Thursday, the 19th, the box office as a total did $140,000
Jesus.
total. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it did not do enough to calculate in the system, so there is a 0 on it. As yeah, that's how little the box office did over the weekend. It wasn't
nuts.
enough to calculate. So a lot of the companies were like, "Well, what the fuck do we do?"
Yeah, man. What do you do?
So what they've decided is that now, until this is over, they're going to be releasing their movies on Vudu and digital platforms to purchase for rent the day that they was expected to be released, including every movie that is in theaters right now will be released to rent. Onwards, the Disney and Pixar movie that got released last week, as of today, is available on Vudu, as well as The Invisible Man, all those movies.
Christ.
The Bloodborne or whatever it is, Ben Diesel's new movie that released 3 days ago is now available for download to be rented. You can't buy it, you only can rent it. Sonic the Hedgehog is being released 5 months early. It releases on the 31st of this month to actually buy, which is actually really nice. Trolls is the first movie that is coming out for future release on April 8th. That is going directly to being streamed. You can't buy it, you only can rent it for 72 hours.
That's crazy.
To rent it, though, it's $20. So compared to going to the theater, but at the same time, I guess the theaters are their mindset is, okay, we are giving you the convenience of watching it from home, so you're gonna pay a little more for it.
Also, you go to the theater,
Yeah.
you're spending no less than $20 because
Yeah.
most people don't not buy popcorn, snacks, or drinks.
And they
Exactly.
usually go with somebody. So you
Yeah,
can
but
have
that's
like
not-
34 people
but
watching
that-
a movie.
The popcorn and snacks are not going to these movie theaters. Like, they're not going to the like Cinemark and stuff. They're
What?
pockets. It's not
Yeah.
going to like Paramount's pockets.
Yep. The first companies to do it was Disney. Frozen 2 and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is now available on Disney Plus, months before it was expected to. Universal's The Invisible Man is out now, the successful hit from their Monster World, as well as they will be releasing, what the hell is it called? Trolls, as well as Warner Brothers has released today Birds of Prey. They asked Warner Brothers if they will be releasing Wonder Woman to digital, and they said no. They are not postponing the delay. It is not expected to be out until June. They are hoping by June everything is resolved, so there's no reason to postpone it, as well as there's no reason to put it to digital release. With that being said, the movie that made me a liar last week, Disney said they had no plans of moving Black Widow, but guess what? They did. Assholes. They made me a liar, so I apologize for anyone who's listening. So they have
Yeah, didn't you
postponed
like
that.
text us probably like an hour after the podcast?
Yep. Where they announced that they finally decided to delay it. I was like, you motherfuckers. As well as our favorite movie that has been in production for 10 years, where the main actor is going to be too old to play his character by the time they start filming. Good old Uncharted has been postponed and delayed once again
Again?
for what would have been the 15th time.
Who would have guessed?
Never coming out.
When's the Call of
Nah,
Duty
Tom-
movie
Never gonna
coming out?
get it.
Tom's
never gonna
pretty
get
confident
it.
that movie's coming out.
Never coming out. Yeah, he's
No.
gonna be Sully. He's gonna be cast as Sully at that point
Yeah.
when it comes out.
The last piece of news that I have, I don't know if you guys remember, months ago, I had brought up Batwoman, the CW TV show.
Mhm.
The main character got injured
Yep.
in production where she didn't know her spine was essentially
Yes.
Hanging on by a
compressed.
thread.
Yeah, and if she would have made one wrong move, she'd been paralyzed for life. She did that during the filming. Well, it just came out 3 days ago. Another horrible accident happened on set. Paralyzing from the neck down one of the stunt women that is in the who is an extra on Batwoman. Essentially what had happened is that the stunt woman was laying beneath a bucket lift, which was supposed to be lowered and stopped when it got on top of her. It didn't stop. So this 15-ton bucket lift lowered directly onto her head and kept pushing down on her body.
Ooh.
Oh, good.
And until it basically was too late.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Supposedly someone was screaming that they couldn't get it to stop, but because of the lift going, like, making a loud noise, whatever, she couldn't hear it. She didn't hear it, and so it came down on top of her, breaking her neck, and then now physically paralyzing her from the neck down.
But is that for life?
Yeah.
They don't know yet.
People have recovered.
Well, yeah, but they don't know yet. This just happened like 2 weeks ago.
Seen Kill Bill?
So, but
Hey Walker, you might want to hit record on your stream because Twitch is experiencing a lot of problems. Just so you know, because my stream just got killed.
Mine's still going.
Yeah, so just an FYI, just so because I got the first half on the on YouTube.
and it says I'm still going.
Well, just
I'm
be
thinking
safe.
just to be safe.
I would.
Gotta wrap up that stream. Gotta be safe.
Trevor said people have been getting black screens all day on Twitch.
It's probably because
Yeah.
there's so many people using, like, watching it.
There are. Yeah.
Justin's stream dropped every 5 minutes.
Damn.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many people are on it. It's overloading the probably overloading it.
The flux
So-
capacitors are reaching the
Yeah.
critical
Yeah,
moment peaks.
So that happened. So another major injury on the
crazy,
set
man.
of Batwoman. And that's all I have for video movie news. Jesus Christ! I can't
Video
talk.
movie news.
Video
Picture
movie
news.
news. Picture news.
The
Who wants?
talkies.
Who wants to go and? Do you want to save the PlayStation versus Xbox to last? Do you want to do it first? What do you want to do, James?
We could just do it now.
Yeah,
That's
do it.
fine.
Let's do it.
So where is?
Well, he's doing that. For
What's
those who
the
didn't know, PlayStation finally released their specs. Finally.
Only
Oh, yeah,
they were-
10,000 years.
That was definitely waiting for Xbox to release theirs first, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we finally got the first comparison. James did watch it. Thank you for doing that. It was
Yeah, I did.
very
that was,
long, very technical.
It was very interesting, but I could see why it was supposed to be at GDC, the Game Developers Conference, because this is meant for the developers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a little list here, that kind of shows off all the different things with like the processor, that kind of stuff between the 5, the Xbox, the Xbone X, the Xbone S, PS4 Pro, PS4 Slim, and then Nintendo Switch. We're just going to be focusing on the major 3, PS5, Xbone X, Box, and Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
So the PlayStation 5 and the Series X are both going to feature AMD Zen 2 processors. Both are going to be 8-core. The Series X is going to be clocked at 3.8 gigahertz, while the PS5 is going to be clocked at 3.5 gigahertz. Both are going to feature AMD RDNA 2 GPUs. The Series X is going to be at 12 teraflops at 52 CUs, while the PS5 is going to be at 10.28 teraflops with 3.6 CUs. Both are going to feature 16 gig GDR6 RAM. The big thing with it, the big differences is the Series X is going to feature a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD that is proprietary, while the PS5 is also featuring proprietary 825 gigabyte NVMe SSD, but you can pop in any old M.2. Well, not any M.2, but an M.2 into there to upgrade the storage.
Oh, okay.
As well, while with the Xbox Series X, you have to buy proprietary drives for it. Both are going to feature 4K HD Blu-ray players. Both are going to support 4K. Both are going to support 8K. Both are going to support HDR. The ports, they haven't announced anything about the ports, the weight, or dimensions on the PlayStation 5. The Xbox Series X is going to feature 3 USB-A 3.0 ports, HDMI out, optical audio, proprietary memory slot. Weight hasn't been announced yet, and the dimensions for the Series X are going to be 5.94 by 5.94 by 11.85 inches. None of that matters because the Nintendo Switch has Animal Crossing, so both those systems suck.
Yes, that is
back to you guys in the studio.
The determining factor there. Ha.
So the difference, so like, what is everyone saying? Like, which one's gonna be more powerful?
It doesn't matter anymore.
They're
Whether
so
you're rocking 3.8 or
like
5.
everyone's ranting and raving. Oh, the Xbox Series X has 12 teraflops. It's objectively powerful. That's not a good unit of measurement to measure power. From what I've gathered, at least, and that's what a lot of the big tech YouTubers are saying, that literally means fucking nothing at the end of the day. Like,
to the end user, it doesn't really mean nothing, and then
yeah, unless you're like tearing the system apart and running it on its max capacity, which no games are going to be able to do.
Not for a long time.
Not until the PS6, and then not till the PS7, and then not till the PS8. Because every time something gets to the point where it's going to surpass it, the next system's going to be out. Just from what it looks like to me, at least.
Of just a few things from the press conference, real quick. You mentioned how terrible the PS3 was to develop for. He said that Mark Cerny, the lead architect for both the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, was there presenting this. He said that the PS3 took developers about 12 months to fully get a grasp of the system, and about 3 to 4 months for the PlayStation 4 for them to fully grasp the system and to really like integrate it into their stuff and really work on stuff for it. He is expecting the PS5 to take about 1 to 2 months, or less than a month compared to 1 to 2 months on the PS4. 3 big things that they are working on is the custom audio engine, and then 3D audio. They really listen to developers. They are balancing evolution and revolution, and then they're also finding new dreams. One of the things that they wanted to do was make the audio chip in the PlayStation 5 a lot better. They're saying that it's going to be as powerful as the PS4 CPU for just audio.
A little overkill.
Yeah, and just a bunch of technical jargon.
Okay.
Just a bunch of technical jargon.
So super fancy.
Yeah, I don't want to bore everyone listening with all the specs. I'm sure there's people that want to know about it, but for the sake of time,
look at it.
Time and attention. Those are the big things.
Good. What else you got?
So Nintendo had an Indie World event where they showcased a bunch of new indie games coming out. Games. Oh, I also played another game, but we'll talk about that in a second. Showed off a game called Blue Fire. It's an action platformer with wall running. Like graffiti. You graffiti the place. Remember Mark Echoes getting up on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox? Reminds me of that. Coming out in 2020. It's coming out in summer 2020, and it is a timed exclusive. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. There's a game called Baldo, which is the Japanese action RPG. It's got beautiful Studio Ghibli style art, over-the-head camera, coming out summer 2020. There's a game called I Am Dead, where it's basically it's a puzzle game kind of, where you have to figure out what's going on. And what's cool about it is that you can, since you're a ghost, no one can see you, so you can like go into buildings and stuff and kind of like observe things that are going on. It seems pretty cool. Coming out in 2020, it's a timed exclusive. Bio Interstellar Arc, or BARC for short, is a co-op shooter, co-op side-scrolling shooter. You play as animals, you can combine different abilities, it looks cool. Coming late 2020 as a timed exclusive. Cyanide and Happiness Freakopocalypse. Freakopocalypse. There we go. Everyone's mutated. Made by the guys that made Cyanide and Happiness. It's an adventure game. Coming out summer 2020 as a timed exclusive. Summer in Mara. Action adventure game about growing up. There's a lot of farming. There's ocean exploration. Think of Sea of Thieves cross Stardew Valley. Over 20 islands that you can visit, weather events, and it is going to come out this spring as a timed exclusive.
Oh man.
Quantum League. This one actually looks really interesting. So Quantum League is a team-based shooter where it's either 1v1 or 2v2. But the interesting thing about it is, so the first round, say you go left in the field, and you know, you do your stuff, you shoot, kill, bang, you win. Round 2, you go middle. Well, hey, you got an image of yourself going left that's also playing too. And then round 3 comes in and you go right. Well, hey, you got one of you going left, one of you going mid, and one of you going right, all at the same time. So pretty much what you got to do is you have to account for stuff going on in the present, and then also how that's going to affect you in the future, in the next few rounds. So by the end of the game, essentially, if it's a 1v1 game, it's really 3v3. But it is it's like copies of your movements and everything from the past 2 rounds. It's a little weird to describe. It's kind of one of those things you have to like watch to fully grasp it, but it is a very interesting thing. That's coming out in late 2020.
What's that called?
Quantum League.
Sounds pretty neat.
The Good Life is coming to the Switch. Swery's new game. It's a debt repayment RPG. At night, everyone turns into dogs or cats, and you have to solve a murder. That's coming out in 2020. They showed off Hello Games' new game. The people that made Joe Danger and infamously made No Man's Sky showed off The Last Campfire. Looks kind of like a puzzle adventure game where you collect fire and you revive people turning to stone. That's coming summer 2020. Pixel Junk Eden 2 is a really interesting platformer, I guess. It was weird because it didn't really... I never played the first Pixel Junk, but what's cool about it is that the stage is created based on your movements. So it isn't a linear stage, it's an adaptive stage. If you jump left, platforms will appear on the left instead of appearing on the right. If you jump to the right, platforms will appear on the right. Jump up, platforms will appear on the top. It's going to have co-op, and that's coming out this summer. Feyre is a card game. You get to create terrain, which is interesting. It's got PvP online co-op. They didn't talk about a whole lot about it. That's coming out in spring. Eldest Souls is a boss rush game with 16-bit graphics. Think of it as like boss fights in things like Enter the Gungeon or Binding of Isaac, except that's the entire game. Got combat customization, and it's going to have a summer release that's a timed exclusive. Okay, Now here we go. My favorite part of the show, lightning round, where I type away as fast as I can. All right, we got Blair Witch, Ghost of the Tail, Skyrocket, Superliminal, Wingspan, Dicey Dungeon, Bounty Battle, and Moving Out, which was the Moving Out was the game by Team 17 that was originally a Stadia exclusive. Now it's coming to everything else.
like it.
They also the final thing that they announced was Exit the Gungeon. It's a new game from the new entry into the Enter the Gungeon series.
Didn't it come out on Switch today?
Came out at the time of the show. Exit the Gungeon's really good. One thing I really like about it, other than it being taken down by YouTube, my video, is that it. Have any of you guys played Enter the Gungeon at all?
No.
No. Okay, so Enter the Gungeon is like a top-down roguelite shooter where you shoot bullets that have guns. And you have to go... The whole point of the game is to get to the end of the gungeon to find a gun that can kill your past. And all it is a revolver that where the barrel just points right back at you. So if you get to the gungeon, you get there, you beat the boss, yada yada yada. With Enter the Gungeon, you had to go through all these rooms, and it was all procedurally generated, and pick up different weapons. Everything changed every time you played it, all that kind of good stuff. Exit the Gungeon is all on an elevator. 90% of the game, you're riding an elevator up because you got to get out of that gungeon. Everything's going down. Shit's breaking. Everything's exploding. You got to exit the gungeon. So you take an elevator lift up. What's cool is that to compensate not being able to pick up a whole lot of weapons or find a whole lot of weapons, is that every few kills, your gun changes to something different. It changes every time. One moment I'll have, the gun that is made out of Mario blocks that shoot out green turtle shells. The next moment, I got a shotgun shell that shoots out shotguns that shoots out bullets. And it's an extremely charming game. Great boss battles. Bullet hell elements to it that are really fun. Highly recommend. It's only $10 on the Switch, PC, and I think it's also on PS4. And probably Xbone. I would highly recommend it. It is top tier game. If it wasn't for Animal Crossing, that would be probably the best game I played this week. Back to you guys.
Mark or Nate, you guys want to go first before I go?
Whatever you got, Mark.
Okay. I got a handful of things for news. So I don't know if any of y'all have been paying attention to our Discord group, but I put in a message about joining our Folding at Home group. The group behind it, the Folding at Home, is now concurrently at 400,000 users.
Nice.
Doing research for against Dave.
And other things.
Yeah, so you can, pretty much what it is it's a application but built by a Stanford student that uses decentralized computing, so a bunch of computers that all talk to each other and work together on the same idea. They all pretty much will work together and create one big ass supercomputer that simulates, at least in this particular instance, simulates protein folding. And so it's like, if we put this chemical onto this kind of virus or whatever, what happens? And then it simulates that. And that's pretty much the big research part of it. So they just hit 400,000 users this week. So if you haven't done that, you can join our Folding at Home group for the Level Unlocked podcast. If I'm correct, that's 27041 is our team number.
Nice.
Check on our check on the social medias. We'll post it in the social medias after the show.
Yeah, but they got a bunch of users there.
Yeah.
It's definitely something to contribute. I've been doing that as much as I can.
If you have some extra GPU power, why not make good use of it? Donate it to an organization that will use that power to solve giant problems in the world today.
To fight Dave.
To fight Dave!
Fucking Dave.
Yeah.
Dave, the ultimate boss.
Dave 19.
Don't be a Dave.
He's the end boss right now.
Yeah. S-boss.
Pretty much. Alongside not going anywhere and having to stay at home all the time, Google and YouTube have launched a new resource page that helps teachers and families to continue to educate students while they're home due to Dave.
Today.
Google's page is called Teach from Home, which offers recommendations on how teachers can teach remotely using Google products. So it uses similar features from Hangouts and online quizzes using Google Forms, so similar to their Google Education. Okay, I guess I can't say Google without my phone freaking. Jesus Christ. Never mind. Moving on from there. If you want to use their service, take a look.
Google. There you go.
Yeah, take a look at Google's service. Oh, jeez. Next thing up, Blizzard is doing something cool with World of Warcraft players for keeping them indoors. Up until April 20th, you can get 100% XP bonus on anything you do in the game.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just saying, hey, play our game. You get bonuses. There's nothing else to do. Come play.
Man, remember the time when like World of Warcraft players, like you kind of had to be like, hey, go outside, stop playing World of Warcraft. Boy, have the times changed.
I know, man. I was watching Trump's conference today, and he's like, we've never had to do this before. Usually we have to give money to the economy to stimulate it. Now we're paying people to stay home. We say don't go outside, don't hang out.
I like it.
Oh, thumb on my camera.
Alongside with all the fun stretch stuff going on this year, another event was canceled. Google's I/O, their developer conference for pretty much everything Google, was canceled and won't be held in any capacity this year. That's all I gotta say about that.
I wonder if they're gonna do a Stadia-style event where it's just boring in a white backdrop and someone just walks out, just be like,
This is the Stadia.
This is. Did you guys see that the Stadia's on sale?
Yep.
It was on
Hell
sale
no.
yesterday for it was a 24-hour flash sale. It was $100. I think it was yesterday or the day before it was on sale for a day.
Too much.
That's way too much.
Next thing up I got is that Valve's card game Artifact is reportedly going to be getting a reboot sometime within the next however. The reason why we
Valve
know
time.
that, yeah, Valve time. So who knows? Whenever it's done. The reason why we know that is that Valve CEO Gabe Newell had a good old interview talking about Half-Life Alyx, and he mentioned Artifact a few times, saying that it was an interesting failure and an absolute disappointment in several instances of the interview. He also said that we ran an experiment, we got a negative result, and now we need to learn from what we did, and now we need to learn anything from that, so let's try again. And that's what the Artifact team has been doing, and we're planning, and they're getting ready to release. Based on the reaction to it, what's wrong with the product, how did we get there, and let's fix those options and take another run at it. So, who knows what's going on there? Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Last thing up, also have to do with Valve. Half-Life Alyx is coming out tomorrow, so in about 12 hours, you'll be able to play a new Half-Life game.
Yeah, buddy.
I
Oh,
already
yeah,
pre-ordered it.
Yeah, I've seen you post that you're downloading it right now.
I
Yo.
never thought I'd see a day in my life that we would see another Half-Life game.
Neither did I, man.
Me too. I hope
Never
it's going to be
thought.
fantastic. If it's like playing Halo or playing Half-Life 2 in VR, I would assume it'd be the same thing, but just more
If it's
great.
this game
More great.
has to be a great game.
Agreed.
Like, it can't be mediocre. There's no way that if it's mediocre at all, or even good, they're not making a Half-Life 3. It has to be a fucking banger of a game for people to be like, yeah, I want Half-Life 3 again.
Oh yeah.
See?
Yeah, be a good one. I'll be sure to let you guys know how
Yeah,
it
man.
is.
You can stream that.
It's difficult to stream VR stuff. I'll see what I can do though.
Be kind of cool.
All right.
That's all that I got for news.
Good shit.
Well,
What
actually,
about you? What's up, Schroeder? Yeah, what do you got?
you can actually. I
crack
had a
my fingers.
customer the other day come in, and he brought his laptop in and wanted to hook multiple cameras up to it. So you can hook up. Say, for instance, you get the VR camera going, and then you can actually set the camera off to the side. You know, actually see your Jedi moves while you're doing your thing.
Yeah, that's how people
True.
play like Saber Beat and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
want to
go
play that
Saber
game
Beat.
so bad.
Saber beat. Good old Saber beat.
That game looks fun.
Beat
Beat
Saber,
Saber does
whatever.
look good.
Whatever.
I love
you-
Beat Saber.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I have a bunch
I'm
of songs
fantastic.
on that I could play too.
Mark, I'm gonna come over. We're gonna play that.
Play
Just make
some-
sure you're at least 6 feet away.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
Social distancing, sir.
Yeah.
gotta disinfect every few hours.
Just break out the old hazmat suit.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Everybody has one of those.
I have at least 3.
Schroeder, do you want to talk about the Overwatch stuff really quick?
Oh, yeah, they dropped a new character, Echo. I don't know much about her at all. She's she kind of has this jump move that reminds me of Pharah. I have to look at it more. I just watched the footage of a play of somebody playing that character. She's
Do
got
you have the test server
for
for Overwatch?
No, I don't.
Overwatch.
Is it on the test
She grabbed
server
it.
or is it on the?
I'd imagine.
Okay. Either way, she looks kind of neat. She looks a little overpowered, to be honest with you. She can actually switch. She can, like, if you're playing a different character, I think her ult switches her to that character, whatever character she's aiming at. I don't know. It looks pretty cool. But there you go. That's what's going on in Overwatch news. Check it out when you get a chance. I really don't have anything else to add to that.
Yeah, you're good.
Overwatch,
Shit.
the game that keeps going.
The second one might come out at some point.
Eventually.
Someday in the future,
1
we're
year.
all driving flying cars. Made
I
by
thought it was kind
Tesla.
of weird that they introduced a new character to that one whenever they have the second game coming out soon.
Yeah.
Like, I
Well,
know that they're supposed to coincide with each
I was
other,
gonna
but
say,
like,
you're supposed to be able
I'm
to play
curious
both.
how they're going to execute that. I don't know.
The strength
Very
of science.
They probably have their reasons.
Yeah, I bet they have it all planned out like years ago, but
Yeah, they just haven't really talked much about exactly what's
There's a lot of that going on.
gonna be happening with Overwatch 2. They kind of announced it and then just kind of went
They did a
Okay.
Blizzard.
quiet.
Yeah.
They did a Blizzard where there's like, hey, look at this thing.
Yeah, they announced
Coming
it
out
and then it just
eventually.
went quiet as to what exactly is going on.
I was thinking, what that
Elder Scrolls 6. It's coming out sometime.
in the future, maybe.
Just so you guys know it's a
Perhaps.
thing. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
just know
It's
that
the
it'll come out 1 year.
Thank
Buy
you.
Skyrim for the 8th time.
It's the end of the show. Go home.
What about you,
My
Nate?
TED Talk.
Well, I cracked my fingers earlier for no reason, but now simulation crack. All right, so I got some phone news because I like the phone stuffs. As I had said earlier, Google might be fucking their phone division. Let's talk about it. All right, so mind you, this is rumor and speculation, just from what people have seen in like the developer reports and all that good stuff. This is from BGR. New Pixel 5 leak suggests Google is about to make a huge mistake. So, from what the article says, I'm going to read it and then we're going to talk about it and we'll read some more. Is the Pixel 5 is supposed to be Google's alternative to the iPhone 12 this year, but a disturbing rumor says it might not offer buyers access to true high-end hardware. A new leak states the Pixel 5 and 5 XL will both be powered by an inferior Qualcomm CPU, which won't be quite as fast as the Snapdragon 865 found in the Galaxy S20. Oof. So, first thing I want to talk about is Google, who is supposed to be like the apex of the Android world. It's supposed to be the phone for Android. That's like their alma mater, their one true calling. Isn't going to use the most recent chipset,
Architecture?
which is super interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder why they would
kinda
do
weird.
that. Anyone have an idea as to why?
Probably because they're making a mid-range phone because their high-end phones don't sell. Their main sellers in their
Why
phone
make a
division
phone
is
this
the
year?
A's.
Just to
Why
make
make-
one
why
so
make
at
a
least to
five?
have
Yeah.
something.
But they're
built-
releasing the 4A, and if that's gonna, because with the projections, that phone's already going to sell better than the 5. I'm sure they know this.
Yeah,
No,
but I
I-
think it's
I know,
at least
but
they have
years in
something.
advance.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense from a business standpoint, or from just even a logical standpoint. It doesn't make any sense if they're gonna make a phone that is supposed to be the flagship phone. Why make it about as powerful as last year's phone? with an
Well, maybe-
A55 inside of it.
Maybe
When they're already
because-
doing that with the 4A.
Yeah, maybe because they realize that they're not competing in the flagship market.
Yeah.
So instead of making
don't
like
know.
a,
They're
instead
like
of
the
making
hidden
just a,
gems no one talks about.
yeah, instead of making a dumbed down version of a flagship phone, they're just gonna make a flagship, or not. They're just gonna make a mid-range phone. They're gonna pack as many features as they can into it to make it cost effective and still, good. But they're gonna dumb it down a little bit so it's
They're gonna
not
start-
necessarily competing with the top of the line iPhone or the top of the line Samsung.
So they're gonna start trying to be like a slightly better than top of the line Motorola and LG products. Then
Probably. That's what I would assume.
it still seems
The best
backwards
of
to
the
release the
mediocre.
4A, or even to release the 5, because if they're gonna be basically the same phone.
Yeah, they shouldn't release one of them.
Yeah,
But-
definitely. There is no indication that Google is developing a third Pixel 5 with hardware that matches the best handsets currently available. So, here's the little, that was just like the bullet points, and here's the part of the actual article. Is Google struggles to sell Pixel phones, yet the handset is critical for Android's success. No matter how well they sell, Pixel phones have a clear role for Google. One, they inherited from the Nexus line. They're the perfect vessel to carry Google's version of Android. They're the first device to run Android out of the box, and the first to get new releases, starting with early beta versions made available to developers each spring. Without Pixels, regular users will have to wait several months to get their hands updated. I can't fucking talk today. And Google would have no choice. Would you piss off?
Happened to me.
I said Google like 8 times, and that's the time it goes off. But yeah, so Google is kind of integral. I would at least agree is that they are the phone that should be out. Realistically, that should be the best phone on the market.
Mhm.
Like even saying like fuck anything to do with iPhone, that should be like in theory the apex phone.
It should be Android's equivalent to the iPhone.
Yeah, it should be like
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
What I tell everyone. They're like, I want a phone that's like the iPhone, but I want Android. I'm like, okay, well, your option's the Pixel. That's it.
Yeah. Or low end like Motorola's.
Mm-hmm. All right. Other than that, we had that was the Google news. There's not a ton out still because Google's actually kept themselves quite tight this year. Unlike last year, which is we knew about the 4 way earlier than we should have. Yeah. But Apple is doing some cool stuff this year. They did the same kind of thing they did last year, and they just released things day by day last week. They released the Power Beats 4, which looked like the Power Beats Pros, but with a wire, which is basically what they are. They have pretty much all the same features. I just don't think they have the H1 chip, which has that like instant connect and everything. You're still gonna have to pair them like a normal set of Beats, unlike the Pros or the AirPods, because the Pros are basically like Beats Pros are basically the super intensive gym version of the AirPods. That's just kind of what they are. And those have the W1 chip in them, which makes them their $250 price point. Now, that's arguable depending who you are, if you think that should be that high, whatever it may be. But yeah, the Power Beats 4s are very nice. They're a pair of Beats. Don't get too excited. And I know there's probably a lot of hardcore Beats lovers out there, but Beats
No,
are
they're
Beats,
not.
and they're never
Dare
gonna be
you
anything.
smash
No,
beats?
they're not.
It's
They're
unacceptable.
I have people I've had to. Huh?
They're people that don't know what sound is, so
Yeah.
they don't know what sound quality is.
I used
Um,
to love beats. I used to be obsessed with them back in the day.
Yeah, and then
'cause
you
of the
grew
colors.
up.
Yeah,
I had the purple ones, the studios. Like, they're
trash.
Studio 3s came in dead last on over-ear headset comparisons.
I think I had
Active
to
noise
choose.
cancellation, my ass.
My one buddy had like the top of the line Beats,
Pros.
and the sound out of the PlayStation Gold headset sounded like 10 times better.
Nice. All right. So they also released their new iPad this week. Well, technically this week stuff. No, last week. So that's looking nice. They do have I believe it's called. Oh, so I'll get back to the camera thing in a minute because I can't remember the exact name for it. But it's the first thing I believe out with for just general population to pick up a mini LED display, which is super cool. I actually have to pull it back up, but the difference between like an OLED display and a mini LED display, Mark, I don't know if because I have to look it up, and if you happen to know it off the top of your head, or if anyone else does.
Mini LEDs kind of emulate OLED a little bit, where it does have individual LEDs that do turn off. There's just not as many, so it can't produce as deep a black level still. It can come close, but it's not the same.
So it's by far better than like basic LCD then, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's better than like the Retina display. It's better than traditional LCD, but it's never going to be as good as OLED.
Okay. And those are both still leagues apart from micro LED, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And again, still micro LED, not for a very long time to make it cost effective would ever reach the black levels that OLED can.
So I thought micro LED on a big scale would be objectively better. With black levels.
On a big scale, yeah, it's more cost effective.
But on a phone, not as much.
No. Right, and isn't the problem with micro LED on phones and stuff just the instantaneous like overheating? Okay, that's what I thought.
Because like even with like micro LED, if I'm not mistaken, there's still power going to each LED. It's still on, but it's just very, very, very off. It's on, but it's not. It still produces a little bit of light, but it's not noticeable, especially on a large scale. Where with OLED, it fully shuts off that LED.
That makes sense. All right, so for iPhone 12 news, because I can't seem to find a good explanation of what LIAD is, which is basically, it's kind of like a time of flight sensor that's going to be on the iPad, but it's not necessarily time of flight. It's more just based on around AR. It's like their high-end AR that they're going to have on the iPad, the newest version of the Pro, which does look super nice. They're like the only ones that are really going heavy into the AR realm. No one else really seems to be playing with that too much. Even so, Samsung isn't really kind of like advertising that being a big thing for them. I know the Note 10 Plus had a time of flight sensor, but with the iPhone 12 that's going to be coming out this year, looks like they are going to be going at it in a heftier way as well. But so they are going the chipset that's going to be in the iPhone 12 is looking like it's going to be surpassing 3.1 gigahertz, which is, if I do believe, better than any phone on the market as of right now. It surpasses the S20 Ultra. I want to say that one goes, I think it hits just about 3.1. This one's supposed to
than some Atom processors. It's kind of stupid.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Why is it stupid? Just out of curiosity. Is it not needed?
That and yeah, like it just depends on how well they do their engineering and power management. It's like if they do the same thing with like the fucking battery and that shit, like that happened however long ago, saying like if you don't have full battery capacity, then your phone's not going to work at 100%. That means that your phone's working at 100% whenever your battery's working all the time. So it's stuck at that 3.5 gigahertz or 3.1 gigahertz, and if it's stuck there, it's sucking power.
Okay.
Like, even if you're not doing anything.
So do you think it's going to like have in theory, if it works that way, do you think it's going to have a worse battery life than
Just gotta hope their engineers know what they're doing.
S20 Ultra does at 120?
I would assume it'd be somewhere around the same.
Okay.
But yeah, it just depends on. Well, Apple like really does well on their own processor lines. Like they definitely pride themselves in making their own processors, so I don't doubt them being able to figure it out.
Kind of their bread and butter.
Yeah.
That's like the thing I explain to people is like the difference between Android and iPhone is that basically you have a engine. So I use a car analogy, is that you have an engine that's one engine that's used among tons of cars, but when it comes to the iPhone, it's basically the Hellcat. Not
like
the Hellcat, my fault.
car.
The Dodge, either that or like the Dodge Demon, how it has a very specifically built engine for that car alone. It is meant only to run on that car, and it's meant to run as efficiently and as perfectly as possible.
Yeah, so even though it might have, like, especially with, like, the MacBooks and stuff like that, even though it is technically lower end compared to similarly priced Windows computers, everything is meant to run perfectly and fully utilize every bit of that, the specs that are in there.
Okay. So just a couple other quick things about the iPhone 12 is we're supposed to be looking at a 64 megapixel main rear camera sensor, a far better enhanced night mode than what we've gotten before, because that is one thing I will say about Apple is like, even though the night mode's pretty decent, it doesn't compete with like night sight from Pixel. Even on the Pixel 3, it fucking blows it out of the water.
The Pixel 2, it blows my mind.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know how well the Pixel 2's was. I know the Pixel 3, that was like their big thing, was their nighttime photos. Which it's just crazy.
I remember taking a picture at work where I was outside and the parking lot lights were out.
I still have that photo you sent me.
Yeah, and it looks like, it's not sunny out, but it looks like the light from the moon is really shining in.
Yeah. We're also supposed to be looking at a 120 hertz ProMotion display, which is pretty fucking great. It's gonna probably, I would say, depending how they do their I can't remember the term that they use on Samsung. It's the time from when you hit it to the time when it opens. I don't remember what that term is, but that's what makes the Samsung Ultra so clean when it's on 120 hertz. Is like the response time, I guess, for lack of a better word, from when you open it and you're moving through apps and whatnot, so clean. And if they do get this ProMotion display on it, because that's what we're supposed to be looking at, and mind you, this is according to Max Weinbach, it could be like the phone this year. I know a lot of people that I was talking to that are hardcore Android users that are like, if Apple does everything the way they're saying they're going to do it this year, they might switch over to Apple, just because they're the only ones that are really pushing this year. Mind you, sure, Samsung did their whole S20 Ultra, but that phone, it's already having a lot of issues. The camera can't run at full capacity. They said they fixed it, but they also found that people have found, even with that quote-unquote fix, that it's still not quite there. That zoom doesn't work super well. We're also looking at a 4,400 milliamp hour battery on the 12 Pro, the 120 hertz refresh rate I talked about, and we just got confirmation through Max Weinbach and like every other possible YouTuber that does tech stuff that we are getting the iPhone 9 and the iPhone 9 Plus, or the iPhone SE2, whatever they're going to call it, because that's still tentative, but it is happening, and theoretically it's still happening this month. We might get a digital release of it instead of that, because they did cancel their WWDC. They're going to be doing it online this year.
So what if they released an iPhone 9 and an iPhone 11? Sorry.
Wait, what?
It's like, what if they released an iPhone 9 and an iPhone 11?
Shit.
It's what it seems like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
iPhone 11.
Well, it's like they already released an iPhone 10, so like.
They also released the 11 too.
Yeah, we have the 11.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
so we'll have
They
the
stuck it in
11,
on
the
you,
10,
Mark.
and the 9.
Right under your nose. The whole time you've been thinking you're fixing 10s, there was 11s.
Yeah, I don't do iPhone.
No, yeah, the 11s were this year's phone.
Oh, jeez.
It's because they
Shows
all
you
look
how much I
exactly
care.
the fucking same. The
The
twins.
9 came out before or after the 11. What the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much.
What is this Star Wars bullshit?
The other thing is this is supposed to be the first, I believe this first processor in a phone that's supposed to be, I want to say it's either under 7 or I believe they said 5 nanometers, which is supposed to be like ultra thin, which would cause more room for a battery, because they found that since Samsung pretty much did exactly what Apple was kind of hoping they would do, making a really chunky phone, which is the Ultra, is they can finally start doing thick phones again, because people don't seem to really care about having this ultra thin piece of metal or glass in their pocket anymore. They want efficiency. So we might be getting we're probably getting the square bezels, which would allow for a thicker phone. And the only thing is, a lot of people are wondering that they might go to a metal back again. That's complete speculation. That has nothing to do with the actual.
I don't know if they would do that.
I don't think they would either. A couple people are thinking that like, oh, they might do that, but that would once again get rid of that whole wireless charging thing, which you can't get rid of anymore because it's kind of like a staple. And once again, yeah, the 2021 is supposed to be the portless iPhone, which would be super dope. It's just not physically possible to get a QI charger to work through metal, is it? Like, that's just not a thing that can work.
Yeah, no.
I didn't think so. But other than that, I can't find a couple of the other specs I was going to talk about, so that's pretty much all I got. But yeah, that's your phone stuff and your iPad stuffs.
Ladies and gentlemen, on a fancy phone stuff with the Nate James in the building.
Yeah.
Good job.
So
man.
throughout the week, I don't know if we said on stream, everything that's going on in the world, companies closing, businesses closing. There was one that refused to close.
They just said no. It is against
Good old
our
GameStop.
Constitutional rights.
GameStop.
I actually just read another article about that like a minute or two ago before I started talking.
Oh,
Yep.
really?
So the CEO said that they consider themselves an essential business, and that's why they are staying open. They viewed themselves as quote-unquote an essential retailer, providing documentation to each one of its employees to provide to police officers and other people in areas where they have fully been quarantined and told not to leave their house.
Wow.
Until today.
Until today. I can imagine the backlash they got from that.
GameStop has decided to reverse the decision and has announced it is closing all of their retail storefronts and going to digitally orders only. At select stores throughout the company, they will offer curbside pickup as well as delivery.
Oh boy.
GameStop delivery. Here we go.
GameStop delivery is what I've been waiting for
GameStop.
this whole
Hey,
time.
this is your GameStop driver here. I'm at your house.
Is yours the one
Well,
with the light
Just
on?
get a text message.
That's what a lot of companies are doing, though. A lot of companies, like restaurants that didn't do delivery before, they're taking their waitresses and waiters and turning them into delivery drivers.
Yep.
That's what B-Dubs is doing. Buffalo Wild Wings.
The insurance.
They are now
company.
offering delivery, and they are utilizing their waitresses and waiters to deliver you food.
I should order B-dubs and hope my neighbor, my old neighbor shows up.
Be hilarious. So yeah, GameStop has finally reversed their decision. The CEO said he has decided that it is best for the employees and the economy to.
Oh wow, GameStop thinking about their employees for once.
Yeah.
It's a goddamn miracle.
Kinda shocked.
Forced to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys hear about Hobby Lobby?
What?
Oh my god! So I thought GameStop was bad. Hobby Lobby is the worst. So Hobby Lobby, if you don't know, is a fine arts and crafts store that you could find, probably near a senior center near your house. It's in like every major city. Hobby Lobby, the head of Hobby Lobby was like, yeah, my wife has been praying nonstop. She's been praying for all of you nonstop for the past few weeks. This is an official letter that was sent out to all the GMs. What we want you to do, even though we're in these trying times, We need to focus on providing the customers with what they need. So you take all of the things that are selling real hot right now and throw them to the front of the store so people could just easily come and grab it. You basically make a Dave table in the front of the store.
And all the old people
That says,
in the back.
Here's your Dave's survival kit.
Of beads and hemp.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Fuck
That's
Hobby
hilarious.
Lobby. Fuck GameStop.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a few posts that really say they really do kind of say it right, you know, during these trying times. Remember what the companies did for their employees. You know?
Yep.
So
Let's see.
last week, Steam broke a record with 20 million
People buying
concurrent
Steam games.
users on at one time. 20 million profiles,
Jesus.
beating the previous record by 300,000 that was set in 2018. 5 days later, they reached 21 million. One day after that, they reached 22.5 million concurrent users and profiles on Steam, beating the record that they set last Sunday by 2.5 million people. So in 1 week, 2.5 million people have signed up and used Steam.
Well, we were one of them. We were some of them.
In 1 week. CSGO continues to be the #1 most played game of concurrent individuals, averaging over 3 million people on at one given time, which is absolutely insane.
Yes, that is insane.
Yes. So, yeah, and they expect those numbers to continue to go up as more and more businesses close and more people are stuck staying at home.
And that's probably exactly what is going to happen.
Yep.
As any time than never, it's the best time for gamers, let me tell you. My teacher said being a streamer was not a career. Well, look at me now. So, it's the only thing that's available to do.
Have you seen our Podbean numbers?
Exactly. So, people are stuck at home. These numbers are going up, man. Yeah, Steam expects, based on their calculations, that they will beat it next Sunday.
Jesus.
Probably.
So, we'll see what happens. It's,
Watch it drop.
it'd be
Watch it
hilarious.
drop to like 19 million. It's like, oof.
Speaking of record-breaking numbers, Call of Duty has broken another number. Last week we announced that 10 million people have played it. And not at one time, but overall, 17 million people have already played Call of Duty Warzone, making it the fastest game in history to reach that milestone. Not at one given time, but collectively over the time it's been released.
And it hasn't been out
Nice.
very long at all.
Yeah.
But now,
So that
3 weeks.
that trumped Fortnite, didn't it?
Yes.
Pork knife.
Get
So-
fucked, Fortniters.
In light of that, a lot of rumors as to what the next Call of Duty is going to be. A lot of rumors. Is it going to be a remastered of Black Ops 1? Or they're going to continue remaking the Modern Warfare games? So, it appears Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is being remastered. On the website,
Yeah, it's more rebooted. Not
yeah.
remastered.
Not
They
yeah.
remastered the first one. This is more reboot.
Reboot. There is a rating system that is in South Korea in the statistics category. Today it popped up. The statistics behind Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 remastered. That's what they're calling it, remastered. And this happened when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 was rumored to be made, and it became a thing.
Oh, this is a remaster of Okay.
Yeah, the same thing what they're doing.
I thought it was a
reboot.
fucking hate Activision. Because I was thinking you were talking about 2020 Modern Warfare, the reboot.
No, 2017, 2018.
Yeah, no, they're essentially looking to go in order and redoing all the Modern Warfare due to the tremendous success of this Modern Warfare.
Everyone hated it though.
What, Call of Duty 4?
Wait, no. Are we talking about the 2020?
We're talking
Call
about Call of Duty 4
or the remaster
remaster
of Call of Duty 4. Everyone hated Call of Duty 4 remastered.
I thought it was great.
Everyone hated how it costs more money for all the shit that was already available in the original. How there was the loot box mechanics. The game was still solid. It was still Modern Warfare, but everyone hated the Activision part of it.
Well, everyone just hates Activision.
Yeah, Activision Blizzard's a terrible company.
Just hope they don't fuck it up.
So
Oh, they will. Don't worry.
supposedly that is the direction they are going. We'll obviously find out way more. As a lot of these games would have been announced at E3, which obviously is not happening, so they'll be doing their own thing. So we will know more as to what is coming out for Call of Duty. Next big thing, Spider-Man. Actually, I'm just gonna go back in order. I went out of order here. Speaking of Steam, Squeenix is currently giving away both Tomb Raider games for free, and as a part of their Stay Home and Play initiative.
There's a really good Tomb Raider game, the remaster of, or the reboot of the series from 2013 or 2014, and then there's Temple of Osiris. Don't play that one.
But Shadow was great.
Yeah, this is regular Tomb Raider. This is
Okay.
This is original reboot Lara Croft.
So I thought they let Shadow go free as well.
Yeah, it is
That
the original
Temple of
reboot of
Osiris.
Tomb. Yep. And what James said, yeah, they're the two that are being released for free, as Squeenix is doing the first company to essentially do stay and play campaign to encourage people to stay home and play video games. So those are currently available to download.
Well, who am I to argue?
Yeah, I know, right? Next. So James had brought it up earlier that he beat a specific game called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. He beat it and he beat it all of its glory, 100%.
No, nowhere close to 100.
Not 100%, but he beat the whole entire story campaign, or so he thought.
It's his favorite game.
They are releasing its first DLC. It is called A New Power Awakens Part 1. Goku's story continues in the events of Dragon Ball Super. This first DLC includes Goku becoming Super Saiyan God and fighting the God of Destruction Beerus, which is the first part of DBZ Super. The part 2, which will be out sometime later next year, will most likely, from the rumors, include the Super Saiyan Blue versions in Frieza. So it looks like they will be continuing the arc and going towards the Dragon Ball Super realm and continuing the story for as long as they possibly can.
Probably.
Will James play it? Probably not.
Will James play it, ladies and gentlemen?
I served my time.
What if popular
I
demand
served my
requires
time.
it? What if the audience just screams for it? They're like, you have to play, or we're gonna punch babies.
You best get to punching babies.
You best get those knuckles cracked.
You best get your best. You best get your.
Tape up those knuckles, man. Get ready.
You best get your
I'll
best
join in the crowd. I'll be like,
baby punching gloves on, because.
So, moving on to a little bit of PlayStation news. First, Peace.
World of PlayStation.
So, James kind of ran into this a couple days ago. Final Fantasy VII Remake. It is still being released on time without delays. An issue that certain people may run into is that it is not going to be available everywhere. Places like Amazon will be delayed. They are not releasing the copy on time due to the Dave, as well as multiple other retailers. And Square Enix strongly suggests you buying the digital copy from them or directly from the PlayStation Store to guarantee you get the game on time on the release date without any delays. So for anyone who got an email like James did saying that their pre-order has been delayed and it was not available, that is exactly why.
So does this mean I'm gonna have to spend like $112 or $120 on this fucking game too?
To buy it in multiple places to guarantee that you get it.
It wouldn't
Hopefully
be,
not.
If this was like Persona 5 Royal Edition, I wouldn't care. I'm not streaming that game. But no, I'm streaming fucking Final Fantasy 7 when that comes out. So I kind of have to get it on release date.
Yeah, that's very true. So, who remembers the game World War Z?
The game?
What?
Yes.
No. I do
So,
not recall the game World War Z.
Yeah, it was a great game.
Was it?
James hated it. I liked it. Me, James, and Miller played it. It's a three. Is it 3 or 4 person?
3 player. No, 4 player.
It is 4 player. It's Left 4 Dead, but World War Z with hordes and hordes and hordes of zombies.
Okay.
Without any of the charm.
Exactly. And when you die, you don't go to save places. You don't go to save places. You go back to the very beginning of the game.
Oh, that's kind of brutal.
Yeah. Multiple times we died and we had to start completely over. And I think a couple times we're like, okay, we're done for the night.
Yeah. I would do it.
Crossplay's coming, boys.
For that?
Yes. So you and your buddies want to play on Xbox, PC together, you can. What?
There's a catch.
PlayStation is not joining them in the crossplay world.
Why would that?
Not yet.
I want to see how it goes first.
Yes. They have announced that crossplay will be active as tomorrow for World War Z. They are doing a Season 2 roadmap where they will have new maps as well as new guns, players, and new initiatives. PlayStation is waiting to see how it rolls out, and possibly during Season 3 in midsummer, they will join the crossplay world, and you can play with your friends. So
Did they
everyone
ever
to play.
release? Did they ever release DLC for that game for like the season pass?
No, they have not released any DLC for this game like they were supposed to. The game came out. They were supposed to release all this stuff, and they didn't release
Yeah,
anything.
because it had a season pass with it, right?
It did, and they didn't do anything with it.
It's
I
kinda
might have to
janky.
contact them and be like, "Give me my money back."
Yeah, no, they didn't do anything with it. But you don't even have it installed. The
I
second
bought the
him,
season
and
pass.
that is true. The second him, and Miller beat it, he was like, "I'll be right back, guys." Comes back, okay, it's done. Like, what's done? I deleted the whole entire game. It's like, we literally beat it 30 seconds ago, and he was like, "Yeah, that's all I needed to do, and now I'm fucking done."
I bought the season pass for that piece of shit, and they didn't even release anything for it.
Spider-Man 2 rumors. It will be a PS5 exclusive game, which will be awesome. Venom and Carnage and Mysterio are rumored to be the 3 main antagonists of this game, changing it up from what it was last time, because this last game it wasn't really any of the main characters, right?
This one was
well,
the Sinister Six.
It was an iteration of the Sinister
Yeah.
Six, but yeah, the Sinister Six. It was basically Doc Ock's version of the Sinister Six, and it was a weird Sinister Six because Mr. Negative really isn't part of the Sinister Six all too often. This was kind of its own thing. Like, they had all of the other characters that were pretty much semi-identical, but they were main characters. Yeah, they were some of Spider-Man's most notorious villains. You had Electro, Vulture, Rhino, Scorpion, Doc Ock. Like, they were main characters, but they weren't like the most iconic people, which were Carnage, Venom. Mysterio is honestly, realistically, like a very background character that not a lot of people know about, but he's only popular because of the movie. Like, Quentin Beck's not a fucking no-name, not a big name that everyone knows. It's only popular because of...
You're not
Jake
seeing his
Gyllenhaal.
shirts at Hot Topic.
Right.
True.
I just fix the fucking combat. Fuck the combat in the original.
I loved the combat of the game.
It was trash.
Why?
Because it's just the Arkham games. The Arkham games had terrible combat.
I thought it was a tiny bit more refined than the Arkham games.
I didn't think so. I had a bad experience with that game starting off, so I think I was just unfair to the game from the get-go.
What, Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
you did that.
I'll tell you about that after the stream.
Okay.
After the podcast, because it's a long one that I've talked about a few times on the podcast.
Okay.
Really quick, so just as updated, they have Activision has just released 10 days since Blackout. No, it's not Blackout.
Warzone.
Call of Duty Warzone released. The numbers have jumped from 18 to 30 million people have played and dropped into Warzone.
Well, yeah, because what else are people doing right now? Yeah, it's free.
They just released that, so
That's what they
literally
should have done
updated.
with Blackout.
Yeah. Agreed.
30
I
million
would've
people.
played
Last two pieces of news that I have. One, they did come out and say Resident Evil 3 will have the ability to do a knife-only run.
Yes.
I want to see it, James.
Yes. Let's do it. Tofu Moto's Jill. Let's go.
Dude, that'd be so hard. Especially like the way Nemesis showed. That's. Ugh.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to fucking break my controller right now. Expert difficulty, knife only. Let's go.
Let's get it. The last piece of news that I have. So, what do you do when you only have a PlayStation but want to play Mario games?
Emulators.
Mod it.
Whine about it.
So you buy a game called Dreams.
Oh, I played that this week too. I love Dreams.
So creators have made actual copies of multiple different Mario games and uploaded into Dreams. Nintendo, unfortunately, just realized this.
Oh boy, and they're not having it.
And they're not happy at all.
Get the fuck out of here.
To the point where they have sent letters to Sony with cease and desist and copyright laws saying that that game is breaking the copyright law by emulating their games.
Disagree.
And demand that they be taken off the site and removed from the game completely. So
Somebody else is just gonna do it.
I mean, Nintendo has the legal right. It's not the right thing to do, but they have the legal right.
I wouldn't like. I get what you're saying, but it's not Sony in any form of like the situation. It's creators. They can't stop
Sony's
creators.
platform.
Well, if
I
anything,
feel-
it's Media Molecule's problem.
I feel like this is gonna go into the soapbox conversation that me and Jeff had a while ago. Like, this is a platform that it's free to do whatever you want, but if they start policing it, they're gonna have to police literally everything.
Right.
But just because it's free to do whatever you want doesn't mean you are free from any repercussions.
yeah.
Any legal repercussions.
Jeff,
That's
you
what- that's
know
what-
the soapbox situation
Yeah,
way better
that's-
than I
that's
do. Can
what-
you explain it?
That's actually what makes it legal to be a soapbox is that you are actually, as long as you don't cater, you're kind of free from it. You're just putting a platform up. I mean, that's what a soapbox is. It's just a platform, and other people use it to do stuff with. But at the same time, that'd be like
go after YouTube all the time for little shits posting, full movies onto YouTube or full songs onto YouTube.
No,
to
that's
listen to.
That's piracy. It's not the same thing. They're not making it.
it's true. They're not creating it, yeah. Because that'd be like
they're still
that'd be
using
like
They're
intellectual
ripping a
property.
file.
But that'd be like it falls into that like
It's using their likeliness and their trademark in a way that they
Exactly.
didn't intend it to be used.
but it's not so.
They intended it to be played as a game. It's being used in exactly what
But
they
in
had
a
intended
certain
to.
way
But they
on their
don't-
systems.
Yeah, it's not up to Nintendo standards. Like it is in a way that can tarnish the brand.
Truth. It's a tough
In
one.
what way?
That's a tough call on this one.
Because so say I've never played a Mario game in my life. All right, I just popped out from under the rock I've been living in for 25 years. I get
Okay.
PlayStation 4. I pick up Dreams. I play, hey, Super Mario Brothers. Okay, I play it. It's absolute trash. Okay? So then I see, hey, look at here. Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo Switch. Oh, it must be as trash as the one that I played.
They must have made that into an actual game. Wow, I'm not getting it.
Exactly. So it is.
They made that
not
into an
to say
actual game.
Nintendo is not to say Nintendo isn't a piece of shit for it, but I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah, but
it
who do they
can't
go
tarnish
after?
the brand. It's the same thing as Disney going up to an orphanage or a children's hospital and saying, "Hey, get that Mickey Mouse shit off with your fucking walls, or we'll sue you."
I
It's
disagree.
The exact same fucking
No,
thing.
because they didn't create that.
They created
They
the
just
image.
no, they just pulled it off of the internet. These
Well,
people
okay,
are
that's the
physically
thing.
creating
That'd be
the
like-
game.
Yeah.
That'd
How
be
are
like
they going
coming out
Bethesda's not
MS
going
Paint.
after the people. Bethesda's not going after the people who created the Fallout versions.
No,
Yeah,
because
they did.
but
They already settled.
did
The
they?
games are still up.
Yeah, they sue fucking everybody. Bethesda's
They're
huge on
completely up.
suing people for this shit. They sued fucking Mojang for using the word scrolls in their game.
Oh shit, that's right.
What?
Yeah, they
Say
were.
Bethesda didn't win on
Minecraft
that,
was
though.
trying to get a scroll object, and Mojang was just like, or ZeniMax
Bethesda was
Media
like, no.
We own scrolls.
What? We
Yeah,
own
but- or
scrolls?
Bethesda.
The
I don't want
only company that is cool
Madness.
with this stuff is Sega. Sega doesn't give a fuck what you do with Sonic. And hell, if you do something cool with Sonic, they'll just be like, dude, make a Sonic game for us. Sega doesn't give two shits anymore. They're the
used to.
coolest cat in the school.
Oh, people still like our stuff. Do
Yeah.
it.
That's true.
Why the hell do you think the best Sonic game to come out in 20 fucking years was made by one dude and his team? That isn't a part of Sega.
I don't think that this Nintendo thing is going to go anywhere. I don't think it's going to successfully take down all of it because the Bethesda one didn't. You can still play Fallout 4 on Dreams.
Oh, you mean that one? Okay.
Oh, yeah, not
No, yeah, that's what I was
not
talking
yet,
about.
at least.
Yeah, I think they have bigger fish to worry about right now, at least. But if that becomes like a game where it actually like,
Threatens them
Might-
at all?
yeah, like if it's like if they actually create the whole entire thing of Fallout 4 or a lot of it, then it might become an issue.
And also, the thing that's really going to become an issue soon is that Sony and Media Molecule is looking for a way to have these creators of these dreams get the monetary compensation for their work.
Oh boy. Yeah, they're gonna be
So
treading on
if someone
some-
was to make a Mario game
and they get-
and make money off of it,
then
Well, yeah,
a big
that's
problem.
different.
but
Yeah, they're
same-
looking to get hired from a lot of creators because obviously they took time and created these games inside of it that they're trying to help these guys get jobs at actual companies.
that, or they're actually just doing like what Roblox does. That feels really weird to say, but what Roblox does, where you can buy different, like you can pay creators essentially by like buying certain levels and different maps and different outfits and stuff. They're going to do the same thing with Dreams, but it's different games or different, pieces of art, etc. That's
Yeah.
what their work's job, right?
Shit's
Oh,
wild.
that put a bad taste in my mouth saying comparing Roblox to Dreams.
I mean,
And the last piece of random news that I have, anybody know who Ronda Rousey is?
Unfortunately.
So she
I
has
did not.
signed. She's a UFC
Former UFC
fighter, WWE superstar.
Okay.
She has signed an exclusive deal with Facebook Gaming that has her streaming on their platform.
She games?
Yeah,
she fight
I
people.
guess.
She
Yeah.
fights people.
She plays as herself on
Just-
MMA.
Just fighting the hell out of people.
she plays games like Zero Dark, The Witcher, things along those lines,
nice.
as well as right now she's playing Animal Crossing.
Of course she's playing it.
Who
Everybody's
isn't playing Animal Crossing?
Me.
Who isn't playing New Horizon?
People without
I
switches.
give it.
People
Yeah.
without switches.
I mean, true.
Like this guy.
What big internet tainer is not internet content creator is not playing Animal Crossing right now?
People playing Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, true. They're probably playing Animal Crossing in their spare time.
One doubt
Yeah.
it.
I just saw that the other day. Yeah, they should
give
send
it-
an exclusive deal to Facebook Gaming.
I give it 10 months.
I was like,
10
oh,
months
okay.
until she breaks the contract.
So I don't know. To me, that's random. But Ronda Rousey is a huge name.
Don't you also have AJ Styles is officially like partnered with Mixer?
Yes, AJ Styles isn't. For those who don't know who AJ Styles is, he is also a WWE
Phenomenal.
superstar.
AJ Styles.
He won Wrestler of the Decade.
Damn
Like
fine
last-
energy. Damn fine wrestler.
Last year is considered probably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. A lot of indie wrestling. For those who don't know his name, he did a lot of indie, where that's
TNA.
like Erie, like PWR, the stuff that would be considered like indie wrestling. He did that forever before joining WWE. Just a quick background for those who are like, who the hell's AJ Styles?
Yeah, he did
Um,
TNA, he did New Japan,
Yeah,
and now
considered
he's unfortunately in WWE.
yeah,
So
and
he's
he
wrestling on Mixer now, Team Mixer.
yeah.
Home States.
Yeah, no, he signed an exclusive deal to Mixer, where he games on Mixer, plays PUBG, Call of Duty, those types of games, as well as after every Raw, WWE Raw, he goes to Mixer and talks with the fans about
pretty
what
cool.
happened, and kind
That's
of
pretty
like
cool.
recap the episode. If something bad happens, he'll post like, let's talk about it. Where he then will discuss the show, answer people's questions. He does it out of character too, which is actually kind of cool. So for wrestlers, a lot of time when they answer questions, they stay in character. Like if they're a bad guy, they
You don't break kayfabe.
they act like an asshole, but they're not actually like that in real life. He'll not act like an asshole because he's technically a quote-unquote bad guy, and just talk regularly about the show, what happened, answer people's questions, interact with the fans, and then he'll game. So
I give this deal a year because that's how long Mixer's going to last.
Facebook Gaming, though, they changed some stuff, so we'll see.
Yeah, Facebook Gaming actually looks good now.
I've
see
been
what
using
happens.
it for a long time. It's pretty good.
So they need to get I think an actual streamer, not necessarily a celebrity. Like Ronda Rousey.
Every actual streamer that I know of that went to Facebook Gaming immediately left like months later.
Oh.
But this is years ago though, so I don't know how it is now.
I know Schroeder said the other day looks good.
Yeah, it's
It's
been
an
pretty
actual
straight.
like button on the bottom taskbar now.
I ain't a boomer, so I don't use Facebook. Periscope's where it's at, boys.
It's cool to hate Facebook.
But that is all I have in terms of games. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing when I was talking about Universal earlier, and cats. So, one thing that was put into the movie that was taken out before release,
Is it nipples?
it is their butts, their butthole.
Oh,
That it was to
Oh.
make them
No.
actually correct, and actually filmed.
Anatomically
They actually
correct.
anatomically correct. They have cats. They have their actual buttholes in the movie.
They took that out?
With the horse testicles.
They
They
took
take-
that out in the actual cut.
Good.
they
What?
didn't make it into a porno.
Somewhere out there
Oh god.
is what they are calling the butthole cut. That there is a version of this movie that actually has cats' buttholes.
That's literally
the
the only
movie.
reason why this movie will resurface. Like shit.
Multiple sources have reached out to Universal asking for more information, and they refuse to comment,
Everyone.
basically
Oh my
certifying this
God.
is true.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Everyone
Lord.
tweet at Universal. #release the butthole cut.
Free the buttholes.
This actually was trending the other day, and yeah, it's a real thing. Celebrities like Seth Rogen and other people have actually tweeted asking them to release this version where they actually have you can see the cat's buttholes.
Oh my gosh.
And then they removed it in the final cut. Yeah, but somewhere out there.
It's so disrespectful that they removed it. There was a guy sitting in the lab, for hours, just making sure all the buttholes look alright.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Their whole bodies are CGI, which means when they made the CGI characters, they CGI buttholes on every single one of the cats.
Man.
And then someone at Universal was like, "What the fuck is that?"
It's a butthole.
I guess.
They all have that? Yeah.
And then they had to go back through.
God damn it, Tim. I told you it was a bad idea. We wanted to make
They were
it
hoping
live
that
action.
somebody posted that hopefully they will release this copy as it will add a new level of magic and mystique nature
Butthole magic.
to the cinematic treasure that is cats.
Oh my gosh.
But somewhere out there, a butthole cuts lives. So yeah, I forgot to add that earlier. So maybe this will save the movie and prevent it from being the worst flop of all time.
Good luck.
So
We'll see.
let's get some releases, shall we?
I just tweeted at Universal saying release the butthole cut, you cowards.
I like it.
All right, releases time. Here we go. Today we got Trials of Cold Steel 3 coming out for the PC. And we also have Half-Life Alyx coming out on the PC. On the 24th, we got Deep Sky Dialects Definitive Edition. Doesn't say what system it's coming out for. We got Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist coming out for the PS4 and PC.
Nice.
We got Odalius the Dark Call coming out for the PS4 on the 24th. Nate, we're not done with the podcast. You can't play Rainbow Six.
I'm not. I'm just loading it up. Chill.
I saw the thing pop up. We're not done
sorry.
yet.
Bitch.
I'm just setting it up. Leave me alone.
Next episode, I'm gonna be playing Animal Crossing the entire time.
I'm just setting it
I'm
up.
gonna be watching.
I gotta solve it on live.
On the 24th, we also got Freedom Finger coming out for the PS4, Xbox, and Switch. We have The Bleeding Edge coming out for PC and Xbox One. Moons of Madness coming out for the PS4 and Xbox One. Paper Beast coming out for the PS4. War Tile coming out for the Xbox One. We have Element Space coming out for the Xbox One and PS4. Vampire the Masquerade, something of New York. The expansion to Vampire the Masquerade, which is weird to say in 2020. Coming out for the Switch on the 24th. PS4 version will be coming out on the 25th. We have until the 29th. Iron Danger coming out for the PC on the 25th. Grand Guilds coming out for the PC and Switch on the 26th. RFL Enhanced Edition coming out for the PC and PS4 on the 26th. Legend of Keeper coming out for PC and Mac. Makorama coming out for the PS4 and Xbone. One Step from Eden coming out for the PC and Switch. Last Oasis coming out in early access on the PC. Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy coming out for the PS4. Winja coming out for the Switch on the 26th. On the 27th, we got... Oh boy, howdy, that's a big word. Gigantosaurus, the game, coming out for the PC and Switch. We got Saints Row 4 Re-Elected coming out on the Switch. Children of the Zodarks coming out for the Switch and Xbox One. Lost Words Beyond the Page coming out for the Stadia on the 27th. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 coming out for PS4 and PC. Bears Can't Drift coming out for the Xbox One. Railway Empire coming out for the Switch. Inoops coming out for Xbox One. Biped coming out for the PC on the 27th, and then we don't have anything until the 31st.
Yeah, buddy, in terms of TV and
that's
movies, there's really nothing at all coming out unless you like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. The new season comes out on Thursday.
No, I'm good.
Hey.
I've decided not to keep up with them.
So, but that's it. Next week, we have a bunch of new movies that were in theater releasing to Blu-ray and DVD and digital. So, what's a podcast, folks?
It is a podcast.
It's a podcast. Go around the horn, and where can we find you? What can we do? And
While we go
where are you gonna
around the
be?
horn, why don't we answer what was his name? Mr. Ryan's
Godfrey
question.
Ryan.
Yeah, Mr. Ryan's question about hidden gem while we go around the real quick.
As his actual comment was a couple. What is your favorite hidden gem when it comes to gaming, as well as where or what should he begin with when he wants to get into PC gaming but doesn't have a lot of money.
Oh, I can go on for hours about that shit.
Well, Mark, I'll dedicate some of my time to you.
Oh,
I'll
What we
dedicate
got?
my time to answer.
Okay.
I'll
go
Grease
go
and
first.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead, man.
Jeff.
All right, Splash Screen Gaming here on the Facebook or on the YouTube and the Twitch. On Facebook and Instagram, it's Team Splash Screen, and on Twitter, it would be Splash Screen G. I would have to say one of my favorite little hidden gems. I think if this counts, is I'm a big fan of Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a really good one. Older game. Came out what? That's a really old game actually. It came out with like
2004,
something
2005.
like that, but then they remastered it in 2000 like
2 years ago.
14, yeah,
Or,
something like that.
yeah, no, 14 and stuff. Yeah.
Something like
I
that.
think
So,
I-
but that's
you're
a
right.
fun one. And then, as far as building a system goes, I've always found PC Part Picker to be pretty helpful.
What would you say for just basic like tips? If you had to pick, say like one basic tip just to get going or what to do.
I'd say the biggest thing is to pick a budget. Determine how much you're trying to spend and then build a computer based off of that. If you have a computer that already works for you and you're just trying to game on that, that would probably be a cheaper option if you could just put in a video card. Because a lot of times most computers that you sell pre-built, a lot of times they just need another video card and you can play games on low, medium settings, no problem. So it just depends on what you're trying to get. If you're okay
Maybe a
with
little extra RAM.
setting, yeah. If you're okay with low to medium settings, go for that sort of stuff. It just really depends on your budget.
Right.
What about you, Schroeder? Someone who's been doing it forever. What little secrets of the trade?
As far as hardware goes,
Or no, just in general, streaming, anything.
don't do it. I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're just trying to record, I mean, you don't need Mark was saying, you don't need a crazy powerful system to record and to stream and stuff. Just depends on what you're playing. So, if you're trying to play a game like Stardew Valley, you're not going to need a ridiculous system to really stream that. But if you're trying to, play something crazy, then yeah, you will need a better system for that. I don't really have too many other tricks of the trade. If you're getting into streaming, you can have the best camera in the world, but if your lighting is bad, then your camera's gonna look like trash. So, it's better to get a mediocre camera with good lighting than to get a great camera with no lighting. So,
There you go. To continue with you, Mark. What are you going to be doing, and anything else you want to add to it? What you were saying?
Well, you can watch me make mediocre content on Twitch and YouTube at MarkDude701. My hidden gems of games would be Factorio and Thief Simulator. I think they're both exclusively PC games as of right now.
Thief Simulator's on Switch now.
Okay, but yeah, if you haven't played those, I definitely recommend it because you're gonna waste way too much time playing it, and they're really fun. Yeah, I pretty much said what I needed for computer-wise. It's just dependent on a budget and what quality you want, I'd say.
Shit. Nate, how about you?
So we'll start with the computer stuff. Just my personal opinion. You can probably get away with, because everyone said where to go or what to specifically what you would probably need. But I guess pick off of what Mark was saying. As he said, pick a budget. I've seen that you can pretty much get away with anything if you get like a $600, $600 to $800. should be like a good area. You could honestly even get away with like 550 to 600 depending what you're really trying to do. What I've been telling my buddies, and I don't know, some people can disagree if they'd like, but I say get a decent system to start with. Like, just get something that's like $500 to $700, and then worry about upgrading and whatnot later, because you don't have to play everything on like high-end settings. Like, you can get away with a game still looking decent and playable at like medium settings. So put everything at medium, get get like a year or two outdated card, you'll still be fine. I'm running a fucking 1060 and I play Siege, which is fairly intensive, not super intensive, but Overwatch, I play a lot of shit on my computer, and I've never had an issue. Everything's running at pretty much ultra or high settings, and mind you, I'm running a 1060 3 gig. So like, you don't need this crazy high-end graphics card. You don't need top-of-the-line shit, even in the slightest. Your biggest thing that you're gonna miss out on is like fucking ray tracing and shit, but that's overrated. Yeah, ray tracing, shadows, it's overrated unless you're like super into that. Like, if you're that kind of person, obviously you're gonna want that, but I'm not fucking worried about it. As long as I can play the game and it looks pretty enough, I'm happy. Probably my biggest hidden gem was not exclusively PlayStation 2, but I played it on the PlayStation 2.
Dating simulator?
It is called... Huh?
Dating simulator?
No. Scalar. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the game Scalar. I figure James might be.
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit.
So, really, really quickly, Scalar is a game where these lizard people from this other world, or dimension, I guess I would say, come and interrogate this kid because they think he knows where like this super important thing is, and they shock him and do shit to him, and then he ends up getting thrown on this world, and he turns into a lizard person, and boss battles and grinding on things because your feet are basically grindable, and then you can change into other animals under lizard things. It's super cool. Great fucking game. If you ever get the chance to play it on a PS2 or like an emulator or whatever, do it. Fucking great game. One of my favorites. I found it in a $5 or $10 aisle bin in Walmart, and it was great. One of the best decisions I ever made.
Nice.
I was young, and the game came out in 2004, so it is dated, but like it's a great fucking game. Like, realistically, the graphics aren't that terrible considering. But yeah, that's what I got. I don't really have any other hidden gems. I had a hard enough time remembering Scalar.
There you go.
James.
James.
I guess this isn't really hidden, but Conker's Bad for a Day. I don't think that game gets enough light, and I think that game's fucking fantastic. Continue, sorry.
No, you're good. Good shit. James.
Well, no, Nate. What are you doing this week? Where can they find you?
Everywhere at YF Kitsune. Still working on. I just found a website that I can pretty much check 180 websites at a time and 180 different social platforms, trying to use a very specific name. But I might still be doing the rebrand I'm talking about. I was actually, during the podcast, trying to figure out how to get a studio looking overlay and have it like, because I'm going to be setting that talk show up, and I'm going to be doing other stuff with that too. I'm going to be doing like some I just bought a book with a full list of all the villains and everything crazy that they've done throughout DC, and I'm going to be doing basically an in the defense of the villain YouTube thing, because I want to start doing YouTube comic stuff, because I miss doing comic stuff like a lot. I miss just bullshitting and talking about comics, and I can do that by myself if need be, because no one else seems to be interested enough in comics. My one buddy, he still wants to, but he doesn't have a PC yet, and his laptop can't really handle a ton. He's got a laptop from Walmart right now that he can get basic work done, and he's happy with that, but he wants more. He was actually one of the people I was telling, like, you don't need a crazy high-end PC. But yeah, everywhere I have kids soon, I'm going to be setting up that talk show. I'm going to have a lot of free time on my hands, other than my girlfriend taking a lot of that, which is, I'm going to be spending a lot of time with her because we don't ever get too much time together. But yeah, everywhere with YF Kitsune, literally just type that in, you'll find me. Any social media platform. Except Uplay, which is the new name that I'm working on, but I'm not going to talk about that yet. But yeah, I might be... I keep saying I'm going to fucking do it, but I'm probably going to try to fucking get around to finishing Call of Cthulhu. I'm going to play that tomorrow after I meet... depending if I end up meeting up with James or if he just tells me how to do this whole thing we're going to be trying to do. I don't understand what you mean by just plug it in.
Don't worry. I'll talk through it.
All right. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna try to play. I might stream some Smash if everyone wants to get together. I want to stream some Smash. But yeah, that is it. James, I just picked up because we haven't been able to sit down and do a recording session of Naruto. We can do some fights because I just picked that up on my Switch. So.
Okay.
If you're into that. But yeah, I'm gonna be streaming anything on the Switch probably this week. But yeah, that's my week.
James.
All right. My advice for building a computer is I don't play games on computer much, so listen to Mark. That's what I've been doing when it comes to building my computer. Is
get a capture card if you want to stream consoles and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I use. I don't PC game.
Make sure your fucking PC has 2 PCIe slots, because I fucking didn't. Get the internal one.
Hidden gem would be Okami. Fantastic game by Clover Studios and Capcom. Didn't get much love on the PS2. It's been ported to pretty much everything now. So a lot of people talk about it. It's a Zelda-like. But yeah, it's a fantastic game. Play Okami. It's really good.
Cool.
And then for me, you can find me streaming Animal Crossing and Dreams on twitch.tv/People8Studios. You can watch me playing Final Fantasy VII and Yakuza 0 and Super Mario Party on youtube.com/People8Studios. And then also, you can find me on Twitter @PeopleIHate10.
Nice. For myself, you can find me Captain Geach 15 on everything. I had streamed twice last week. Arc. One good stream, one not so good stream. Not when I say not a good stream, not in a bad way. Like it wasn't a bad stream. It's just some unfortunate things were said, so that made it bad. Yeah, I won't shed any more light on that.
Move past that.
I didn't ask
move past that.
Move past.
He told us.
I did.
Did you?
I said it.
Yeah, I think we
I don't remember.
Yeah, I said James is a loser, and it just didn't turn out good.
Yeah. You know, I've heard that so much in my life. I just go away.
I do actually want to. No.
You do need to stream more though. You
2 times after that, I streamed by myself once. After that, and I streamed myself getting wyvern eggs. Actually, I found a level 180 wyvern. Wyvern is a dragon.
Jealous as shit.
So that was actually pretty cool. Completely screwed up how I was supposed to do it, but it ended up working out for me. I accidentally landed in the wyvern cave by accident, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die. Like the guy wouldn't. And my bird wouldn't stop landing. I'm like, oh, and I landed, and there was nothing around me. Surprisingly, no idea how, but it worked in my favor. Probably do that. Still waiting Final Fantasy VII Remake. That'll be streaming that hardcore. Myself, Hidden Gems, Day of the Tentacle. That's a good old game
Classic
from
LucasArts.
1993 actually is when it came out. I looked it up for the Windows 3.1 computer. They did remaster it. You can buy it now on Steam as well as
PS4.
And PS4. It makes you think if you haven't actually played it. It's kind of like a puzzle game, mind-bending, traveling cartoon puzzle adventure is the best way to put it. It's actually pretty cool. And Final Fantasy 13.2 and 13.3, I would say, are some hidden gems.
No, they're not.
Those aren't hidden at fucking all.
They're not. Well, they're not. They're not hidden, and 2, don't play them because they fucking suck.
Okay, 13.2 wasn't bad.
It was better than 13.1 and 13 or Lightning Returns.
Oh yeah.
But that's not saying much. I made a game in high school that's better than 13, the 13 trilogy.
So it's not really hidden, but a lot of people didn't really play it because they it wasn't the
because
game
the
they
first
expected.
one sucked.
Yeah. So, but Day of the Tentacle will be my first one. That'd be number 2. And tips from at least my point of view, I got my computer open boxed. So
Me too.
What that means. So for people who don't know, Best Buy sells open item products. Products either someone returned, an old shelf display, whatever it may be. So I got a pretty decent computer for relatively cheap, and that's something to look for. That's something to look at. Make sure obviously you get the right advice, because the first time I bought one I didn't. I was told an M graphics card, or it's an M graphics card or an M processor. I don't know which one it was. The mobile chip.
And processor, yeah.
Yeah, was told I
You'll
could,
be able to stream on that, no problem.
I could stream on it, no problem. And I bought it, and I couldn't do shit with it. So when I returned it and got my Alienware desktop, so something to look for, something to look into. And if you are looking to stream, kind of like what Schroeder said, you just have to do it. It's just literally hitting that button, and it becomes just a mindset. Like, for as much as we game, it's as simple as just hitting go live, and then obviously it comes the extra step of talking to your community, talking to your crowd, things along those lines, like what James does. If you want a good example of that, watch James. Out of all of us 5 specifically, he's very vocal when it comes to that. Schroeder is as well. When it comes to engaging, interacting with the crowd. Check out all obviously other streamers and just kind of get an idea of what they do. And it's just a sense of, you, if you're not looking to stream, then obviously don't worry about it. But if you are, it's just doing it. It's just like going to work.
You just gotta do it.
Yeah, you just gotta do it. And it can be time consuming, but if you want to make it big and you want to do it, you just have to do it. And the more you talk about it, the more it's like people always say, if you have a dream, you need to try that dream. If you fail, you fail, but at least you tried and you gave it your shot. So but that's my piece of advice for that. And for everyone here at Splash Screen Gaming, fuck, why did I just say that?
Yeah.
I was looking at your title. Oh my god. I was looking at Jeff's thing. So that's Splash Screen Gaming.
We do love you too.
Yes,
Wow, so,
we do love you
so
at Splash Screen.
fuck
Team
you,
Splash
Jeff. You're not Splash Screen Gaming anymore. Walker is.
Oh, I said we. I meant all of us. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know why.
We are Splash Screen Gaming.
I consider you part of Splash Screen Gaming.
Yeah. Fucking A.
Oh, man.
From everyone at the Level Unlock podcast, make sure you follow all. Jesus Christ. Follow all of our social medias, as well as our Patreon. Become number Trace at patreon.com/Level Unlock podcast. And follow us at Twitter at what, James?
LVL Unlocked Pod. That's LVL Unlocked Pod.
We appreciate you. We love you. And we will see you guys here next week, same time. Let's make it happen. Have a good night.
See you guys next week from the Splash Screen Gaming podcast.
Hell yeah.
Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out.
Deuces.
Thank you for your time, guys.
Lock
The credits roll, usual.
That's a good one. This gaff of all time on this show.
Yeah, that was a pretty good show. That was cool.
I'll
that we got
pretend to
Patreon
click
subscribers.
2.
Not bad.
Oh, man,
How long
that
was
funny.
this?
Like 2.5.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I didn't have a clock saying how much time we had.
3 hours with the preamble. 2 hours and 53 minutes.
Oh, wow.
That's probably what I would have.
Yeah, about right.
Yeah, I think you started yours a bit before mine, so probably around 3 for you.
That's
Damn,
nice.
fucking Warzone's downloading quick.
Nate, it's okay. You can go play Rainbow Six now.
Got more packing to do.
I saw that pop up,
I know.
and I'm just thinking, this motherfucker, really? He's gonna start playing fucking Rainbow Six in the middle of the podcast.
I mean,
No, I was literally just getting it prepped because I messaged AIM. I'm like, yo, we're gonna be getting towards the end here. Are you gonna still be on? He's like, I'm watching. I'm like, oh, I bet.
Let me know when everyone's done with their credits and stuff.
Yeah, I kind of want to hear what the person Nate was playing with said. I'm
Oh
really
god,
curious.
yeah, it's
I
real
wanna hear.
bad.
Oh man.
I'll tell y'all if y'all want to hear.
Oh, I want to hear it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
hold
I don't know
on.
about these guys,
If
but I
make
want
sure
to hear
it's
it.
Stream
Um,
safe. Stream
and
safe.
I
It's
want
not
to talk
stream
about what
safe,
we
so
want
yeah,
to do with
okay.
it.
The credits are
Oh,
almost done.
so
Okay,
here,
Treon.
let me talk about real quick. Since Nate, you haven't heard it, my story with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I got the game day one, the deluxe edition, because I like Spider-Man, and I got it free with the Zunos app. And I download it, and I start playing on my PlayStation. Granted, this is my PlayStation 4 Pro. Start playing it, and I see these black dots start appear all over the screen. I'm like, oh, that's a cool little film grain effect. Nothing too crazy. That's pretty neato. And then it gets to after I hit start game, new game.
Oh.
And I go, alright, that's weird. So I try it again. Thinking it's one time thing. Nope, still goes on.